man, he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo.
Come on.
America's
Is there a catchier fucking song on the radio right now?
Nothing's better. There's nothing better.
I don't care what people. The Eminem new album dropped today. Not catchy. Not as
Joe
catchy
Henry's
as
not
that
on
fucking
it.
song. No,
Joe,
no. And I'm gonna tell people that. Fuck your Eminem, man. No, Joe Henry's not on that album. I don't care. I don't even give a shit about it anymore.
The fact that he also has purchased the website IBelieveInJoeHendry.com so that you can go download the song is just chef's kiss.
It's magical.
It's perfect.
It's magical. It really is magical. Anyway, with that out of the way, welcome to the Just Too Sweet Show, a ridiculously late Friday night edition. I was bored. I wanted to get this show in. I want to talk some Money in the Bank, talk some Samoan bloodline stuff, talk a little John Cena announcing his retirement. We're going to talk about whatever floats the boat. Maybe we'll have some guests. Maybe we won't. Dave, we don't know. He might be sleeping. He might not. might have an allergy. He might be too busy watching AEW. We don't know. He might pop in. We'll see. But with me, you see, is Mr. Anthony. What's going on?
Not much, man. Happy to be here. It's been a long week, and I'm ready for a great show here on this lovely Friday evening.
Well, the one main question I have to get out of the way right before we start is, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Who doesn't believe in Joe Hendry? That's the real question. Because
when he came out at NXT, I was like, who is this guy? I don't know who he was. Like, everyone was going crazy. He was like, oh my God, it's Joe Hendry. I'm hooked, dude. I'm hooked. Not only because of the theme song, but if you dig deep, I've been posting him in our chat. If you dig deep enough, he seems like to do musical parodies, and he aims them at his opponents. And so far, they've all been hilarious. So you know what? I believe in Joe Hendry.
This is the exact thing we needed in wrestling right now. Is Joe Hendry.
What I can't see, he's only been out in front of an NXT audience and a TNA audience. I can't wait for him to pop out in front of a 50,000 WWE Universe fucking audience where they're all singing that song. It is going to be. My nipples will be hard. I'll have goosebumps. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna blow away Cody and fucking Seth and all these other 3-hour goddamn
Cody who
exactly. Seth, what you and your We're gonna have all these people screaming about Joe Hendry, clapping, playing air guitar. It's gonna be fantastic. So with that too, Money in the Bank. Overall, before we get match by match, we don't have to do that. But what did you think of Money in the Bank?
It wasn't bad. I got a chance to rewatch some of the matches because the night everything was on, I missed a little bit of a couple of them, so I got a chance to go back and rewatch some of it. The women's match was disappointing somewhat. It's hard to say that though. Like I struggle to get into some of the women's matches. I don't think the WWE has a ton of great women's wrestlers. I think they have a lot of great women's wrestling personalities. Mm-hmm. But I will say some of the spots that they hit in that match, especially some of the ones by names I'm not going to remember.
Yeah.
Io Sky with the move she hit off the top of the ladder was outrageous.
I thought she killed. I thought she killed her. I really did.
Was it Zoe Stark? Yeah, Zoe Stark.
I was like, oh, she's dead. As soon as I said it, I was up, she's dead. Move on.
Chelsea Green taking that ridiculous fall, ridiculous bump. So that it had some really good moments in the match. Overall, it wasn't crazy. It kind of went how we expected, though. Talking about it on the pre-show, we all thought it was probably going to be Tiffany Stratton, mm-hmm. but we thought there was a possibility maybe that Chelsea Green would win, and so it was fitting that that's how it ended, with them two on the top of the ladder and Chelsea plummeting God knows how many feet down through tables.
Yep.
But no, that wasn't that. So I think that was my least favorite match of the night. I thought Sammy and Braun wasn't terrible. I don't know. Sammy's a very good technical wrestler, and Braun isn't bad. He's good in the ring, but he's you could tell he's still a little green on a couple of things.
A little bit. But man, is he fast? He is fast. He is strong. He reminds me of like a Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle hybrid.
That's a good way to look at it.
And not even his uncle and his father. He's like part Brock, part Kurt, and he's just insane.
I don't know. You could compare him to his uncle, like in the early days of his uncle, like the real Steiner brother days, because Scott was acrobatic as hell back then. I mean, don't forget, it's not a Hurricane Rana. It's a Frankenstein. Yeah. So, but he's just an athletic freak. Man, they have so much. I know Dave's not here to poo-poo on the parade. It is really impressive to see, especially in the men's division, the talent that they have top to bottom from some of these guys, because they have a lot of guys here. Like I was thinking, even, and I know you're not a big LA Knight fan, but I was thinking even about that even about the him and Logan Paul match coming up. I'm actually excited for that. I think they're both really good in the ring. Logan's been fantastic. You know, the feud that they've built up going into it has been a lot of fun too.
I think LA Knight's good in the ring. I think that's going to be a good match.
I do too. I'm really looking forward to.
I just don't see LA Knight as getting higher than the USA title. I don't see him getting higher than the Intercontinental. Maybe if you were to switch brands, but I don't see him ever being a world champion.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. Maybe an IC title. You know, I think they tried to push him into that world title discussion, and I think that realm is just so overpopulated right now for them.
Yep.
And I'm not sure LA Knight could really reach those heights, but it doesn't matter. He's entertaining. He is good on the mic, even though he does, he is repetitive at times. He can cut promos. We've seen him cut semi-emotional promos. I remember the promo he cut not long after Bray Wyatt passed away. That was an excellent promo that he cut. I can't remember who he cut it against, but it was a really good promo by him. But yeah, no, I think that's probably him and Sammy probably better. I think Sammy's a better in-ring performer. Sammy's mic work has been hit or miss for me. But I think that's probably the right area, that US title IC belt range. That makes sense for him. And that's not you know what I think, and I think Dave gets too caught up on this, and I'm not trying to take shots at Dave. Love Dave. But I think Dave gets too caught up on this. For a promotion to work, you can't have a roster full of heavyweight title contenders. That's not how it works. You have to have guys in these tiers. That's how you build programs. That's how you have multi-layered stories. That's how all of this works. That's the functionality of everything. And so guys like LA Knight, that's why they work so well. It's like, yeah, like they tested the waters on the heavyweight stuff or the undisputed world title stuff, and that's not him. The stuff that they have going on right now with Drew, they let him turn heel, and he's been, I mean, this is easily the best run of his career right now. And he's doing it without a belt. Priest, I know that, we all poo-poo on Priest for his promo cutting, but his in-ring work is fantastic, in my opinion. I mean, for a guy his size, I think he's very good in the ring. And I know he had the botch on the ropes at God, what pay-per-view was that?
The Castle? Was it the Castle one?
I think it was the Castle. Yeah. So, he had his in-ring botch there, but his in-ring work overall, I think, is really good. So I don't know, man, the depth that they have right now, and the fact that they're just adding to it. I don't know why I'm lagging out a little bit here.
It's all right. Your voice is coming through.
Okay, good. That's all that matters. No one needs to see my face. Yeah, no, it's just, it feels like this is, obviously it's not the same as like what the Attitude Era was, but the overall arc of everything across both programs and across, well, even NXT is doing pretty solid right now too, but across both programs and top to bottom, there's not many nights where there's just completely useless matches on the card, which I think if you go back to the Attitude Era, it felt like a lot of the opening match stuff in the Attitude Era was like, just stuff you don't remember at all. And it feels like they've gotten away from some of that. They've really built out a full-fledged roster of talent.
That was Nitro. Nitro's like, let's throw these luchadors out there first. Meanwhile, those are the best wrestling matches of the night that you thought
Yeah.
were just, filler and fodder. When you always said they always put on first star matches, even though you can only watch Juventud versus La Parca one too many times. You can't. After a while, you're like, oh, please stop. I don't want to see
That
this
was
ever
the
again.
that was the weekly Monday Night Nitro
Yeah,
opener.
it was always one of them. So, we got a little bit of an. We'll get back to Money in the Bank, but I want to know what do you think about talking about the women's division. The rumor is we're going to be getting a women's IC title and a women's US title. Supposed
I
to be
don't
coming soon.
I don't think they need both. I think one
No,
or the other would be okay. I don't know that they need. I could be wrong. I know Shawn Michaels has a plethora of young talented women wrestlers down there at NXT, and I'm assuming that we're going to start to incorporate more and more of them. Um, it feels like aside from the top tier of women wrestlers, like if when a women's wrestler comes along, they're either really good in the ring and can't touch a microphone, or they're good on the microphone but aren't great in the ring. And then you have some of the in-betweeners, like Chelsea Green is one that I think she is great on the microphone and she is good in the ring. I just don't know that they'll ever give her a real woman's title push or anything like that.
and yet they
um
should. They
they
should.
absolutely
Absolutely.
should.
Because, like
We
you said,
talked about that.
yeah, I can't have Bailey, Charlotte, and Becky just keep winning all the time. It's time to move on from that shit.
We got to
So
see
I,
different
I would I
stuff.
would love to see a Chelsea Green or a Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky had that title for almost a year, I think, which was fine with
Yeah.
me.
No, I thought she's phenomenal in the ring. I think
Yeah.
she's one of the better women wrestlers they have on the roster. She's really, really good in the ring. See, for me, and this is why, like, and I'm not trying to like criticize them, but it is different watching them compared to when you watch the men wrestle. And when you see some of the women wrestlers come in and they can make a match look just as good as if it was a men's match, I think that's the sign of them being like uber talented women wrestling, like the top tier of what women wrestling should be and should look like. And they do have a decent amount of women that can do that. They just don't have a lot of them that can do both. That can do that and then also pick up a microphone and cut some mean ass promos and things like that. So, but no, I think you're 100% right on Chelsea. Chelsea would be a phenomenal. That would be, come on, just the promos alone with her as a women's champion would be excellent.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Stratton's the same way. She's good on the mic and she's a real athlete. So she
Yes.
can pull off some cool shit in the ring. But the women, like you said, the women's match, I think it started off
Yeah.
real bad, and then they started hitting those big spots. Which again, I'm not a fan of the huge spots sometimes because it takes too long to set up, and then it's like, all right, we get it. It's not real. we get it, but stop
Yeah.
taking 3 hours to set up a spot because it makes it look even worse. But a lot of them were really good. A
Yeah.
lot of them, I don't know how these women were walking the next day. I don't. I don't know how Zoe Stark's alive. When she
I
hit
mean,
that, when she hit that,
but
I was like, "Oh my god, dead."
what about the botch she had where she hit her head on the fucking ladder?
Yeah, she hit her head. Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, what is going on with these women?"
Yeah.
So, well, the men's match, I think we all predicted it.
Yeah.
I think we did, right? Damien
Yeah.
would
We all
win,
said Drew.
cash in that. No, yeah, Drew. I mean, would cash in that night. He got screwed, but not by Mrs. Punk. He got screwed by Punk himself.
Yep.
So, and here we go with this now. This will be going on now for forever, at least till
But
SummerSlam. Probably way past that.
I just hope when we eventually get Punk back in the ring in an actual match that he looks better than he did at the Rumble.
Yeah.
I did not think he looked particularly great at the Rumble. So I'm hoping, I have hopes that he will look much better in the ring next time we see him in the ring.
Well, not
Um,
not to jump on him the way Dave has been, but I don't think he looked good in AEW at all. I don't think his whole AEW run was any good wrestling
I
wise.
thought I thought he had a couple of decent matches over there, but overall, I thought it was a little disappointing. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a big gap in between for him.
and that's why I was jumping on his case mostly because he went there to put over the young kids, and it didn't seem that way. And then, like I said, he wasn't really performing the way we thought he was going to perform. So that's why I was more in his case than anything else.
Yeah, I mean his by all accounts, his out of ring work, which I know I shared that picture in there the other day, and Dave didn't want to comment on it. The picture of breaking kayfabe of him and Seth Rollins embracing backstage. It does seem though like not only is he on his best behavior, but that maybe some of the rumors of his bad behavior backstage are overstated a little bit, because it doesn't seem like there's many people that are genuinely upset he's back from a locker room standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that's one thing that Triple H seems to have really valued, um since he's really gotten his hand in there control wise, is it seems like this is probably the most unified locker room that we've ever seen. And I think it's paying off in a lot of great ways match wise too. We're seeing some really good work by a lot of top tier talent. um all that said, Cody should not have the belt right now. I would love to see someone else with it.
Well, I was anti-Punk. I was. But said then when the stories started coming
I was
out.
never I was never a Punk fan, honestly.
Well, my thing was, oh, he's big deal. Okay, when he came, don't get me wrong, when he came back, I was like, holy shit. But oh, I'm here to work with the young talent, put them over. No, he's getting title shots right away, winning the title. I was like, he's not here for that. He's here to fucking put himself over. But then you realize it wasn't his idea. It's Tony
Yeah.
Khan booking bullshit as usual. And then with the stuff with the elite happened and the Bucks, and I was like, you know what? I don't think he's even though he came out of that press conference with the donuts and screaming about Cole Cabana, and that just completely, which I always wanted to parody, by the way. We should have done it a long time ago. Him coming out of that fucking thing with eating the donuts and drinking the juice, and I mean that was a train wreck. That was a
Yeah.
train wreck, and I was like, this guy's fucking fucked in the head. But I really think it's because, like his T-shirt says, well, his quote, I should say, that someone put it on his shirt, but his quote was, I'm old, I'm banged up, and I work with fucking children. And I think that's the perfect quote. Like, he didn't realize what he was walking into in that company.
No, I agree. I agree. I think it was way worse than I think he was expecting. And
Yeah. I think a lot of people say that. They're like, this is not, it's like going from back in the day, WW to WCW. It's like, there's no structure. There's no, you don't
it's
get
way.
that boss vibe like they say about Bischoff. You don't get that boss vibe that Vince gave off. I
Yeah.
think that's the same thing.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I think Tony's trying way too hard to be friends with everybody as opposed to trying to run a successful promotion. You know, his goal is like, oh, I saw this guy wrestle in New Japan and he put on a match I thought was fun. Let me pay him $6 million a year to come wrestle for me. You know, and 2 months from now he'll be so far down on the card no one will realize it, or he won't even be on shows most of the time. And and then they're afterthoughts. And it's a shame because it did seem for a while that they were going to be able to try like kind of succeed where WCW failed. And it seems now as time just gets further and further in that they're having it's the same thing.
It
Maybe
is.
not to the same extremes, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's the inmates running the asylum. It's no real structure. It's no good storytelling, and the booking is terrible. And even like we talked about a couple weeks ago with Dave, we talked about the Swerve Osprey thing. Like, why would you throw that together so quickly? And they did the right thing by having Swerve retain. um but at the same time, it's just, you didn't have to do that. You don't have you just because a match sounds like a good idea doesn't mean you have to do it right away.
Yeah, no build
Like,
up. No build up is no fun.
no, there's nothing to it. And that's what I think people are. It shows in the ratings, it shows in the revenue, which is non-existent. It shows in the fact that Tony's out here bragging about, we only made available 12,000 tickets and we sold all of them, not stating the fact that, yeah, we also closed 7,000 seats off to fans because we knew we weren't going to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit like that. Like, just
And like you said, this happens. We've been talking about this since the beginning. You have all these women fighting to become a new star, fighting to become a new for that belt, fighting to become a household name, and you bring in Sasha Banks for ungodly amount of money, and now she has two belts.
yeah,
This
in
is
three
what they do.
matches.
This is
In
what
three
they do.
matches.
That's the problem with that company right now. And again, I want them to succeed. I would love options.
I've said this. I've said it off air. I've said it on air. For as much shit as I give Dave about it, I agree. I would love to see them put together a great show every week. There is nothing to me that will ever compare to the Monday Night Wars era when Nitro was really kicking and Raw was trying to do everything in their power to keep up. Because remember, we had a stretch there where Nitro was whooping their tail in ratings for a little while, and that was the height of it. That was when we saw some of the best work come out of both of them. And
Go back and watch a couple of those Nitros. Unwatchable. They're
yeah,
unwatchable.
they were top heavy. They were top heavy. I'll give you that. They were very top
They were
heavy.
NWO heavy. We should just call them.
Well, I mean, that's, it's probably the greatest heel turn in wrestling history. I mean, it is the greatest. I'm not even probably, it is the greatest heel turn in wrestling history. The guy who had been a face his entire career, who had kissed millions of babies and all this. And then all of a sudden he's given the leg drop to Macho Man in the middle of the ring. He's the third man. It's, that moment, even now that WCW is dead and gone, that moment is still such a huge part of wrestling history. I mean,
that moment got me back into wrestling. I never stopped watching, but during those 90s with the clowns and the garbage men, I was like, I can't do this. Like,
are you specifically referencing Doink?
Yes, and I would only pay attention to Nash. I didn't know I was a Click fan until years later. I was like, holy shit, they were all friends. I had no idea that the Click was a thing. But I said I used to sit there to watch Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, and then with anybody else, I'm like, oh, here comes the garbage men. They're fighting the pig farmers in a pig pen match. Fucking shut this shit off. Oh, here comes this. Oh my god, it was so bad for so long I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, and even when Hogan went to WCW, I was like, I'm not watching that bullshit show. It's a stupid. I don't care. Turns heel. I was like, oh, I have to watch this.
Well, you got to think.
Suck me right back in full time.
That whole thing, it really starts with Nash and Hall going over there. Nash and Hall go to WCW, and that's what starts a chain of events that forever changed the careers of a number of different wrestlers. Because one of the things that doesn't get talked about enough. Here's a question: if Nash and Hall never go over there, we never have an NWO. What does Sting's career path look like today if that never happens? Is he remembered as highly regarded today as he is without? Probably not. Because let's be honest, like prior to that, Sting, while a fan favorite and a good wrestler, he was not considered an elite draw like some of these guys were. He became that over time. But a lot of that was heavily affected by the NWO storyline. So without that NWO storyline, we don't get any of that.
And Hogan was getting booed so bad, he quits.
Man.
He quits. He does. He would never have sat for that. When I first heard him get booed, I was like, wow, they're booing Hulk Hogan. This is a whole different world, and it made sense to turn him at the time. So good, but see, the AEW can't make the same mistakes, and they're making the same mistakes. This guy Edge comes over, let's give him a belt. Well, what about the fucking 15 guys who've been fighting for that belt for the last 6 months? You're gonna put it on Edge. All these women are fighting for this woman's title. We're gonna throw it on fucking Sasha Banks. All the outsiders, all the
Mazda money.
But I'm not calling her that bullshit. She's Sasha goddamn Banks.
I like the Mazda. I like Mazda money as a good name.
So and they've been doing this since they started. Oh, we're gonna feature the young guys, the new guys, the homegrown guys. Who's your first world champion? Chris Jericho. Now that I kind of understand because you wanted a champion off the bat to solidify the title. But then what does it go after that? John Moxley, WWE guy, CM Punk. Hangman Page wins, but he doesn't have it very long. John Moxley again, CM Punk again. It's like Chris Jericho again. It's like, dude, you don't see what you're doing? Do you not see it? Kenny Omega comes in. Oh, we're going to throw it on him now. It's like,
and I like Kenny. He's overrated, but I like him. I know Dave doesn't want to hear that. Kenny's like his the second coming of Christ to Dave, but
I'll let him and Eric go out. They're worse than you two going at it. They just fucking Kenny Omega, forget it. I have no problem with Kenny Omega, but I've only seen one match where I was like, 5-star Meltzer, 5-star. I saw one with
Oh, I don't even.
him and Jericho at the Tokyo Dome. I thought was one of the best matches I ever seen.
That was a really good match. That was a really good match.
Other than that,
Watching it.
I've never really seen him do anything spectacular.
And to Dave's surprise, I did not watch it on Twitter. No, that was a really fun match. No, I like Kenny. I think he's really great performer. I don't think he's as elite as some people make him sound, but he's good. He's very good. But is he an all-time great wrestler? I don't think so. No,
No, I wouldn't put it
I
there
don't see
either.
it.
Well, at Money in the Bank, we also had a very big. The only really big surprise was John Cena was in the house. John Cena comes out and announces he is officially retiring from in-ring work. But of course, there was a catch. He's not doing it right away. He will be touring and doing house shows and pay-per-views over the next year through 2025. And that's the way you do it, by the way. Don't just walk away and then, one more match and then you're back 3 more times. He's like, nope, I'm going to get it out of my system over the next year, do house shows, that's the way to do it. And I think for the first time, the crowd was up behind him saying, one more match, don't go, don't do it. No, it's like, whoa, times are changing because Cena's getting.
But has anyone else done a run like this? Like, and it's known like this is it. This is the last hoorah, as they say. I can't think of anyone.
No one's really had the farewell tour before. No.
I think this is interesting. I think this could be the new norm because I think this is going to go extremely well. Extremely well.
Triple H just fucking tripled his profits for the year because every time that guy puts a T-shirt on, that shit sells.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if that set from last week is number one already. The head, the wristbands, the towel, the shirt,
the farewell tour shirt. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the shirt, I actually thought about going and ordering one.
Oh, I wanted the GI Joe one. GI Joe.
That was a cool one.
That was a
good one.
I've never owned a Cena shirt. Never owned a Cena shirt. So
I know he hinted at it in his speech. I don't believe they're going to do this, but wouldn't shock me if they did. Does he get a 17th title out of this?
See, they asked Triple H that too, and he dug around that. And it's a really hard question to answer.
I just don't see how you can do a good storyline with it, knowing that this is the farewell tour. I don't know that you have enough time to build up a good enough feud, to have him win the title, to have him maybe defend the title a couple times before he drops it. I just don't know that there's enough time to do all that while also taking in the fact that it's a farewell tour.
Maybe he wins and walks away.
That would be interesting.
And the title's up for grabs in the tournament or Royal Rumble or something next year.
Well, he's supposed to wrestle through December. So what January is January is the Rumble? Is Royal Rumble? So what do we have do we have a Royal Rumble where the odds are heightened? The winner of the Royal Rumble is not just facing someone at WrestleMania for the title, but they have the title? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, maybe. It could be. They've done it before. Ric Flair did it. So, they could do it again.
I mean,
makes sense to me.
There's ways they could do it.
Like, if you ask any of the old school guys, Flair should keep it. But I still think they're going to push Charlotte to win 16.
Maybe 17. when she eventually gets back.
And what's Ric Flair going to say? No, I don't want my daughter beating my record. No, of course not. He's going to want her to do it. Does he want Cena to do it? No idea.
We'd have to see. They did it in 2016 with Roman. Did they do it in 2016 with Roman?
What did they do in 2016 with Roman? What did they do with Roman?
I think he's implying that Roman won the belt from the Rumble. No, am I not understanding that right? Oh yeah, it was that was actually Triple H in 2016. The 30-man Royal Rumble match for the World Heavyweight title. Triple H last eliminated Dean Ambrose. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, my bad.
Yep. So it's possible. I mean, I don't know
Oh,
where his.
Roman entered the match as the champion, and the winner of the match won the belt.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
that would be interesting. What if he? Well, no, because he said 2025 Royal Rumble is going to be his last. So yeah, I guess he can't technically wrestle in the 2026 Royal Rumble then.
You know what, Gil? You see, I was going to bring this up too. When he won, when he won his 16th, Flair was okay with it if he won, but that dude's getting old and a little crusty. I don't think he would be happy now.
Can I
He's
say?
getting.
Do we actually need Ric Flair's approval for that to happen?
Oh, well, I think his weight. I think he throws a lot of weight around. Like I said, I don't think any of the old school guys would be like, yeah, I think Cena should have it. But sorry, but Ric Flair hasn't done what John Cena's done. Just hasn't. 20 plus years. I mean, Flair's been around a lot longer than that, but I mean, let's face it, he didn't do what Cena did.
Well, I think Cena carrying them through the G-rated era, uh, you know, as a face was, it definitely goes
Well,
down as one of the greats. There's
oh
no
yeah,
question about that. I mean,
but
it's not
but Gil,
even debatable.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit, Gil, because I don't think he's looked good in his last couple of matches. He looks like he's ready to move on.
The age has caught up with him.
Yeah,
You can.
age is your age is undefeated. Time is undefeated. Time never loses. So Triple H being in charge, he's arguably the greatest. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Wouldn't
I'm not
argue
going to
that.
argue that. I'm not going to argue that at all. And I was never a Cena guy. Actually, I love Cena as the rapper. That dude made me laugh every week.
Is Flair the greatest world champion of all time? That's a good question. Actually, that's a great question.
I am going to go on record, and I know people don't like it, as saying no, he is not. And this is because of what Ric Flair himself said. Watch the documentary, the two documentaries about him. I forgot which one it was. He even said it. I don't have a lot of moves. I have like 3 moves that I do. That right there tell me all I needed to know. No, I don't think he's the greatest of all time. He's great,
Who
of
would
course. He might be the greatest superstar of all time because he had the whole package. He had the promo, he had the look, he had the attitude, he did have good skills, but I'm putting Shawn Michaels above him. I just am. It
prime
just goes
Shawn
that way.
Michaels was otherworldly, and
Yeah,
and that's
Bret
someone
Hart
who had
too.
more than a couple moves.
If Bret Hart had a personality, he'd be right up there too. You know,
But Bret Hart always worked better when he was the heel, though. I
yeah.
don't think it ever worked well for him when he was supposed to be the face. When he was a heel, it was perfect. Think about the I Quit match with Austin, which I mean, I know Bret says it's the match that built Austin, and even though I hate agreeing with Bret Hart, he's probably right. I
Oh, it
mean
did.
that
That,
was
that
the match that like solidified like, oh wow, he's the guy.
and that was yeah, that was the double turn, the famous double turn. So you needed that. Cena's going to do 34 days. Oh no, he's going to be in great shape, yo. I'm not denying that. He's still in good shape, but in the ring, the last couple of times, he hasn't looked, too swift. So I'm a little worried about that. But I mean, it's time for him to go. That's all I'm saying. It's time.
Yeah,
It's time for him to officially announce retirement, have his nice little tour, and get the hell out of there before
I
you
think
start embarrassing yourself.
what Chris states here is what I worry about with Cena, because I feel like even Cena's not that old, by the way. He's only 47, which in terms of how long some of these guys wrestle is not that old. Shit, I think isn't LA Knight in his 40s too?
Yeah.
I mean,
AJ
so
Styles, those guys are in their
that's
40s.
right. AJ found the fountain of youth via lethal injection. But no, I think that's an excellent thing that I worry about with Cena, because he is getting older. I do worry. I don't feel like his body has I think his body has taken more of a toll than the average 47-year-old wrestler is what I'm getting at. Um, so that's what I worry about. Like, does he stay healthy for the whole year? That's a lot for a guy. How long has it been since Cena wrestled a regular schedule?
Shit. Years and years and years.
Is it close to a decade almost?
Uh,
Close, probably what, like 7-8 years?
yeah, I would say
40
so.
41. So I was a little off on Elena. It's still not that. The Cena's 47. He just turned 47 in April.
A lot of these guys, in their 50s, still going at it full time.
I agree, Gilbert. I mean, the match with Theory was pretty
the theory wasn't
forgettable.
great, and he got squashed by Solo, which I know was supposed to happen, but I don't know. He hasn't been looking too good. So I hope he's working out. I hope he's getting his shit together. I mean, it should be fun.
That was the last time Cena wrestled a full schedule, 16, 17. So that's 7 to 8 years ago. That's a long time. That's a long time ago. That is a long time ago.
Ask CM Punk how long that is to come
So
back into the ring like that.
my other question that I have with this, and I know that since Cena announced it and he said, if anyone wants to get their whatever he said, come get me. Is this a thing where Cena just gets to kind of handpick his opponents and wrestle with people that he wants to wrestle with over the next year? Or are we going to see some actual storytelling built out around Cena here over the next year?
I think we get a little bit of both. I think he's going to do the right thing and put the younger guys over. That he's been doing that already. But I think he's going to have a couple, like you said, Gil just put Orton. He's going to have a couple matches with his generation, and that should be good. But I don't think it's going to be a one. I mean, he's only going to be gone in a couple months. He can't feud really with anyone that long.
I agree with the Orton one too. There has to be at least one Orton match in there.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. He's the only one. Is he the only one really left from that era? That Bradshaw was a big villain of his. He's gone. Batista gone. Triple H can't wrestle anymore.
Bradshaw in the ring.
Sean Stasiak's dead. I think. I don't know.
Do they bring Batista back out of retirement?
No, Batista is another grumpy wrestler.
I think he's more grumpy because of how he's perceived in the movie industry because of his wrestling days, which I will add to that I think Dave Bautista is actually a really good actor.
He is a good actor.
I love watching him in movies.
No, but he was grumpy because when he came back, he got booed. And he didn't like that. And he's like, dude, really? Grow up. You're in the wrestling business.
I think to be long-term successful in the wrestling business, you have to mentally be able to hear the boos as cheers, because what you have to think about is you're initiating that reaction from people. I know Dave's going to take my words here and flip it into people telling Sasha Banks to shut the fuck up and make it sound like it's the same thing. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
A fan booing a heel and a fan cheering a face is not the same thing as a fan telling a wrestler to shut the fuck up.
A woman wrestler to shut the fuck up. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, no, that is true with Bautista. He did go out on his terms, and he said that he's done wrestling. I mean, the whole reason he's breaking away from Marvel and superhero movies in general is because he said that he's tired of the physical. He doesn't want to keep his body in that kind of physical shape anymore.
Chris, I don't know. That's gonna be one of those interesting matches.
Do we get that match?
Absolutely. I think that. I mean, it depends on how Punk is doing with the storyline wise. But I mean, he's got to face all these guys. He has to face Punk. He has to face Orton. He has to face his generation. Plus, I'd love to see him and AJ Styles go at it. I would love to see him.
That's what I was going to say was AJ Styles. I would love to see that one.
Yeah, put him in the ring with all these guys.
I think even some of the newer guys, I would love to see him in the ring with Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is just on such a heater right now. There's not many people I wouldn't want to see Drew against right now.
Well, you could always have that heel come out and say, "Oh, Punk, Cena, you're interrupting my thing. You're stealing my time. You're stealing my spot. Blah blah blah." And boom, you have a feud.
Yeah,
you have to fight the next guy. Like, I'm supposed to be fighting CM Punk, and you're taking him away from me, so now I'm going to kick your ass. Okay.
If that's the way they want to go to get him into a Punk match, it's a great way to get him also into matches with Drew McIntyre and then Seth Rollins, or Seth Rollins and then Drew McIntyre. So those are all what I think would be interesting and fun matches. Do we get a Roman Cena match?
No, I don't think so.
Also, and not to change the subject because I do want to stay on the Cena thing for a minute. But with Roman about to come back, have people finally realized how necessary and amazing Roman is now that we
They,
haven't had him for several months?
I'm sure they do now when they realize what the hell's going on.
Are people done being mad that he held the belt for so long and are finally appreciating the work that this man has done over the last several years?
Or the fact that they booed him for how many years, and then they realize, oh, like he doesn't suck. He's actually
Oh
pretty
wait,
damn good.
oh wait, he's really good. Can he come back now?
Like, I don't like this solo guy now. So
Is Drew the biggest? I don't know. Jacob Fatu is really giving him a run for his money right now, just breaking everybody in half.
I,
No,
I think,
yeah, it's true.
I think Christian and fucking AEW is the biggest villain right now.
Well, that's fair. That is fair.
That dude's out of. I've never. He's out of control over there.
Well, the stuff he's doing, the work he's doing right now is hands down the best work of his career.
Gil, we talked about again. I mean, we always give credit to Bunker for this because he said it before WrestleMania, and you're absolutely right because he said, guess what? He wins, then what? And so far, it's been true. He won the
It's
title,
been very true.
and since then, it's been who cares?
Yeah,
No
because
one cares anymore.
even this solo storyline, no one cares because everyone knows Solo's not beating him, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So right now, it's really like the chase
Yeah,
was better than the
God,
victory.
could not agree with that statement. Anybody, because we never had this issue with Roman, or it doesn't. At least in hindsight, it doesn't feel like we did. Like no matter, oh, he's wrestling Brock for the fourth time. It's hey, is he going to lose the belt finally? Is it going to be to Brock? And then he beats Brock again, and he doesn't lose the belt. But no, they built up such great feuds with him over such a long period of time with so many different people, and they did such a great. And I mean, I guess that's a testament to how good Roman is. I mean.
And it was great because now he's gonna lose. Now, and they just never fucking gave it to you for 2 years, 3 years. They're like, nope, nope, nope. And then if he fights Cody year one, you're like, oh, Cody's finally gonna win, and they fucking denied us. They
But
denied
dude,
everybody, and it was one of the best things ever.
it was the right move to make, though. It was the 100% the right move to make. I do still feel it was the right move to probably have Cody win the second go around.
Oh, definitely,
But
yeah,
at
it
the,
had to be.
but at the same time, they were very ill prepared for what to do with Cody after that.
Well, because like I said, now again, you people start cheering Roman. They're putting the hand up. They're acknowledging their tribal chief. So what do you got to do with him? You got to turn him face. How do you turn him face? You got to disappear for a while. He's going to get beat up by Solo and his crew, and then which will be the
Yeah.
return of the Usos and who else they bring in? That 6'8" Samoan monster they got now. Godzilla.
Well, if are we officially transitioning off of Cena? Do we have any last bits we want to hit on Cena before we get into Bloodline?
No, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, I'm actually excited to see what he does, and like I said, I think he did it the right way, not just one. Oh, I'm done. One match, I'm gone, or just show up one day and be like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, I'm out, and just walk away. No, I think he's doing it the right way.
It reminds me of, and I said this in the chat, it reminds me of when a professional athlete, and I think of some of the great players in history and the wonderful runs we got to see. You think of, listen, I'm not a Yankees fan, I know you are, but you think about the Derek Jeter and like Mariano Rivera farewell tours. Those were epic,
They were,
and
because my favorite part of those tours were the fact that the away teams were giving them gifts and appreciating them, and that was always great. I think it's going to be kind of the same thing. This is my last night wrestling in Phoenix, and Phoenix is going to go ape shit, and they're going to make a lot of money selling shirts and fucking wristbands and all the other Fruity Pebble stuff.
exactly. No, I love the idea of them doing it as a true farewell tour for him. I really do like that. Jumping into the bloodline, something you and I were talking about before we went live. Jacob Fatu is instantly the second best wrestler that's ever come from the bloodline. Period. It's not even close.
He's a
And
maniac.
he's he's 6'2" and he's 280 pounds, and he swear to God he flies around like he's prime Rey Mysterio. It's really incredible to watch. I really think they need to let him start. They're not going to for a while, because I'm telling you, the second they give this man a mic and people realize he can also cut promos, they're going to be like, why the fuck is Solo here?
It's
Get
true.
Solo, get Solo out of here. We got this guy. We don't need Solo anymore. Get him out of here.
It is true. I saw the promo. I think you brought it up. He was talking about while he was in prison. He went to jail, and
Dude,
that's when he saw the TV, and he's like, "Oh,
this
I
this
gotta do this. I gotta do this." And that was a
and
great promo.
put it this way, and this is why I think the WWE has very big plans for him. Did you hear the story that came out here in the last couple of days about how they hired a highly regarded immigration attorney to get him into Canada for Money at the
Hmm.
Bank?
Yep.
Let's be real here for a second. If they didn't see a serious future with this kid, there's no way that they're forking out that kind of dough to get him into Canada for a tag team match that they very easily could have thrown someone else into.
That's true.
I mean, let's be honest. They see his in ring work. They've seen the promos he's got. They're like, okay, there's more to him than just another member of the bloodline, which he will be in the short term. Long term, there's a future for him, a real future for him. And yeah, he is incredible to watch. He is one of those guys that when you watch him in the ring, you're locked in. You're like, holy fuck, man, this guy is just outrageous. Like, holy shit.
Yep. And this bloodline thing, like you said, it's if they pull this off, it's gonna be epic. Like I said, if it's really truly The Rock is gonna be in charge of this bloodline and Roman comes back. Jimmy, by the way, was just cleared to come back. So
Kind of, he was hurt. He was kind of cured. You're not
yeah.
wrong.
But I thought he was gonna be popping up tonight, but I guess they're gonna hold him back until at least Roman comes. I guess Roman has to make his big return first.
I
Before you allow
can't
Jimmy.
wait to see the pop that Roman gets when he comes back.
Speaking of again, I know we're shifting gears again real quick. We'll come back. Jey Uso, dude, had me rolling on Raw when the Wyatt Six started coming out. He was looking around, he goes yeet and ran.
And ran.
I was like, dude, that was hysterical. That was fantastic.
I'm very interested to see the Wyatt Six stuff because to see that Chad Gable talking to Adam Pearce, and then Pierce goes to go in the locker room, and you just see Bo Dallas there, and he just kind of turns his face and looks with that blank look on his face. I was like, "Oh, okay, this could be fun." He's here now.
And Adam Pearce shit in his pants, which is great.
Oh,
I think
man.
that's leading to Summer. I think we're gonna have Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable at SummerSlam.
I hope
that might have been that's what it was.
I hope. I'll be honest with you. I've been honest with you guys before. There's a very large gap in my wrestling knowledge where I was not watching consistently or regularly, so I don't have any knowledge of what Bo looks like in a wrestling ring. I don't know if he's good. I don't know if has potential. I have no idea. I hope he's going to be good because the work that they're doing around these characters is phenomenal, and I hope that there's an in-ring payoff that's close to as good.
They could never find that niche for him. He was okay. I don't think he was anything great as Bo Dallas. I mean, he was all right. He wasn't anything spectacular, and they could never find anything for him to really succeed at.
So he's a good performer that they couldn't find a character for.
He's a decent performer, but I think putting him in there with Chad Gable, who is a fucking phenomenal wrestler, is a plus. Is a major
100%
plus.
agreed. 100% agreed.
That's why I think they're doing it too, because they know Chad Gable will make him look like he's he'll make him look phenomenal.
It's a great way to look at it. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, no, Gable's in-ring work is top tier. Yeah. He's an excellent worker. And that storyline's a lot of fun. It's so entertaining.
It is a lot of fun. And like I said, the fact that he was sitting there, it was like, ooh, this is gonna get good. But I think he's there to make sure he fights Gable at SummerSlam. That has to be the match. It has to come to an end sooner or later. But I think the Wyatt Six basically just gonna go around attacking people who abandon their friends, a la Chad Gable, make you forget. I'm sure the women are going to be getting attacked soon by Sister Abigail.
Do you think
if Alexa doesn't come back too?
That was my next question. Do you think that when Alexa comes back, which she's been posting stuff on Instagram, and it seems like physically she is she took time off. She had a baby, it seems like physically she's getting back close to shape of being back in a ring. Do you think she is a member of the Wyatt Six? Is she the sixth member, or is the sixth member, as we've all mentioned, that's the the metaphoric embodiment of Bray?
I don't know. They have to give us a reason why she's just back to normal. She can't just be all gothic and dead and kill. I mean, she killed Bray Wyatt and then she disappeared.
Yeah.
They got to give us an explanation for that. So she should come back as part of the group. Um, and I don't think Bray is supposed to be the sixth member. I think Bo and Howdy are supposed to be two separate guys. That's why they're always
Oh,
that's why they're always talking to each other.
I
That's
like
my
that one
opinion.
too.
That's
Like
my
that one
opinion.
too.
That's my opinion. That's why it's the six. But I could be wrong. But it seems like that's the whole thing. I think it's kind of like the way Bray did. Him and the Fiend weren't the same person.
So I don't know if you've seen this theory. I've seen a few people mention this, that Bo Dallas is not going to just be two people in being Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy, but that there is a third persona, and that while he has his Bo Dallas persona, and then he has his Uncle Howdy persona, which is more of the ringleader and organizing the chaos, as you would say, that there will be a third member when Bo Dallas breaks, and that will be the new Fiend. I don't know if
Really,
you've heard that rumor. I've seen it floated around on the internet here and there. I think it's
I
an
haven't heard it.
interesting. I think it's interesting. I don't know that I like it or not. I'd have to see it play out. But I still remember the first time I saw the Fiend, and that is hands down the craziest thing I've ever seen wrestling wise from a character transformation. And it's not, you can't even call it a character transformation because he was still there as Bray. It wasn't like, he just stopped being Bray and now there's the Fiend. He was still there as Bray, and then the Fiend would come out, and it's just, have we ever seen like a true, like, I mean, I guess we have in a lesser extent, but like to that height of extent of a dual personality like that.
No, no. And who would have thought that the firefights, the funhouse would work? And it
Oh my
worked.
gosh, it
It
works
worked.
so well.
I mean, it worked to the point where those puppets were popping up, and you gotta keep watching the background. Where's the puppet? Where's there he is, the little puppet popping up behind an interview or behind the scenes. Like, up there he is. And it worked. It worked, and that shows you how good Bray was. I don't even think
Yeah.
he's Bo Dallas anymore. I think that character's just dead. I think he's just using his real name now.
Is
Uh,
he?
I think so. I don't think he's Bo Dallas.
Or is he using his real name, or is he using a Wyatt name?
I think he's. I don't know. We haven't heard anything yet from him.
I mean,
But
we've
I don't.
seen him talk. I don't think we've gotten any like real names or anything.
Yeah, I don't think he's using Bo Dallas though. I think Bo Dallas is gonna be one of like almost like Mister Huskus. He's dead. Husky Henry. Whatever the hell Vince wanted to
Uh,
call him back in the day.
that was
Husky
so
Harris.
terrible.
Husky Harris.
Have you ever seen the videos too of him cutting promos in the performance center, like before they
Yeah,
really like let him out? I
yeah.
mean, holy cow, man!
He did. He did the best he could.
That kid was special though. He was special. Yeah, I don't know that he'll go by Taylor. I don't think any of them will ever go by the Rotunda name in the ring. Um, I mean, they could. It would be fine. I just don't see that happening. I could see him going by maybe they call him Taylor Wyatt or something like that, or
Possibly. Well, see
uh,
now with they with the promo with him talking about his brother, kind of breaks the kayfabe a little bit to where he may just call himself Taylor. Maybe not Rotunda like you said, but I think he's going to use Taylor. I don't think Bo Dallas is ever coming back.
it probably. I mean, from based on, like I said, I don't have familiarity with the Bo Dallas character, so. But based on everything I've heard and read, that wouldn't be the worst decision to just
Yeah.
completely
Oh,
not have that come back.
he looks 10 times better now. He got the beard. He put some weight on, some muscle. Because Bo Dallas like a skinny little long haired, baby face, freaky looking dude who couldn't really talk as well. He had a couple good, he was NXT champion. Let's not forget, one of the
He was.
first.
That I did know.
Um, yeah, so he had his little run, but once he got when he came to WWE up to the roster, it really couldn't find nothing to do with him. Nothing really major. So I think this is a phenomenal transformation. Uncle Howdy was the best thing that ever happened to him. And
Yeah.
then fucking Bray dying is the worst thing that happened to him. And the fact that he can keep going with it is a testament to him and Triple
I,
H and the character that Bray created.
well, I think it has a lot to do with Taylor though too, because if you've seen some of the interviews with him, most of them in documentaries and whatnot, but like he really talks about like wanting to carry on this legacy and these stories and these characters for his brother, and it seems like he may have found his niche as far as like this is what he should be, because those promos that we've seen thus far, I know they're obviously pre-recorded and whatnot, but they've been absolutely incredible, especially that first one where you see him like really get like emotional and talking about his brother and things like that. Like you said, breaking the kayfabe a little bit, but that little bit of, we've talked about this 100 times. When you are able to blur that line between reality and kayfabe, when you get right there in the middle, that's when
Mm-hmm.
things work the best. That is when we are at the edge of our seats and don't know what to do.
Yeah, which is why I think a lot of the stuff that he's saying, he believes. Like I don't think it's all character. I think this is shit that he wants to say, and he's saying it. And we are the forgotten ones. It's true. He was forgotten. All these wrestlers that you're looking at, none of them have ever had any major success. None of them have
No.
ever been pushed to the point where they were going to be superstars. I mean, Nikki was the closest one. She had a women's title run. Then she was a superhero. And then she was a sidekick. And then now she's fucking Sister Abigail. So, but it just makes sense. It just makes sense that, that this group is together.
And Dexter Lumis had a previous career as a serial killer, clearly based on his look.
Oh,
that's
the scariest. He's the scariest human being I've ever seen in my life.
I went back and watched some of the old promos with him, and like he 100% gives off like just creepy serial killer vibes.
If you put him in a lineup with real serial killers, like picks a serial killer, I'll be like him. No, it's not him. No, it's definitely him. Like, no, but he's not. Everyone else is a serial killer. I don't care. That dude has killed someone at some time in his life.
Listen, you may not know he's a serial killer, but he's a serial killer.
Let me tell you something. He's killing me right now with that fucking look in his eyes. So
yeah. He's perfect for the character. No, I agree completely. The group that they've assembled for the Wyatt Six is phenomenal, and I love that they brought back. Oh, geez. Thank you, Eric Rowan. I love that they brought Eric Rowan back. I thought that was,
like the last promo where they said each character and why they are now who they are. It just all made sense. He was casted out. She was forgotten. He was never given a chance. It's like, this is all fucking, it's true. All 100% true. Like I said, the stuff that Taylor is saying is not all script and written. He's saying what he feels. And that's why it works so well.
Think about that for a second, though. And I'm not gonna. I don't want to give Triple H all the credit here, because obviously, Taylor Rotunda, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, whatever we're calling him, deserves a ton of credit for this as well. But the fact that they have taken 4 wrestlers, one of which was not even with the company anymore, that have been, as you said, forgotten. And legit forgotten, like, or never had a real run or a real chance to do anything or anything. They've taken these guys and they've made them into a formidable faction that everyone is just clinging to what's going to happen next with. Is absolutely incredible.
It is.
You took people you were literally not going to use. You were probably going to let their contracts run out and just send them on their way. And instead, you've turned them into a faction that people are tuning in and looking up. People are making 5-minute, 10-minute long TikTok videos breaking down these segments. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I watch every single one of them. I love it.
My favorite part of the Eric Rowan segment of the video was they were talking about Brody Lee, who passed away over at AEW. When he went to AEW, he passed away. They said they said something about loss, suffering an unimaginable loss. It's like, oh shit, they're mentioning fucking Brody Lee. That's fucking awesome that they did that for his memory too. So it's like that was, again, I got the goosebumps just from thinking about that, because the way they did it was, it's been on point. So
you got to do the goosebumps like The Rock. You got to rub them and then slap your arm a couple times.
Show them.
That's right. Show them to the camera.
My hair was standing up. You can't see my hair though. That's the problem. So
No,
I hope they don't fuck it up. That right there, like I said, alone when I was watching that was like I said, Nikki Cross, oh, forgotten. This guy not be, but when they said him suffering loss, and I was like, oh, that's Brody Lee they're talking about, not just Bray
yeah,
they're talking about. And I was like, oh, that's got me going right there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
I
cool.
mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited to see where it goes because it's been so much fun to watch. The build up's been incredible. The small payoffs that we've gotten here and there have been delightful. I mean, absolutely. I've never seen anything like that initial where they all show up together, that Monday Night Raw at the end. I've never seen anything like that. That was just unbelievably done. It's so good. So
That
good.
was Bray would be proud. He'd be proud for that.
Oh yeah, he would have ate that up. He would have been loving that segment right there.
I just wonder if we get the Funhouse back in some crazy way.
The fact that these interviews are taking place in the Funhouse is one of my favorite little touches that they've thrown on all this. That you have Howdy and Bo or Taylor, like I said, or whatever we're calling him, but the fact that the two of them are sitting together in the Funhouse talking about all this is, just icing on the cake at that point. I mean, that really it is. It's just like, oh, you guys really have really thought all of this out, haven't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. These characters, just stuffed animal. I mean, everything is just perfect. And I hope they don't fuck it up because it could turn south real quick.
Yes, 100%,
Like
100%. But
this group doesn't need belts. They don't need
no,
titles. They just need
nope.
to run fucking ramshot over the roster and like I said, they're supposed to be targeting people who are breaking the rules that they're following. You're abandoning your friends. That's where this guy's getting beat up for. He abandoned the Alpha Academy. He's slapped around Otis. He left. That's why he's targeted first. Who's going to be second, and why? It's all supposed to be for a specific reason, not just random.
So obviously, as we've seen, certain members of the bloodline, and when I say certain, I mean everyone not named Jacob Fatu, seems unworthy of what's going on. Do we see maybe them go after the remaining de facto second tier bloodline down the road?
Maybe. Listen, I'm be completely honest with you, right? And I was waiting to say this too. When this bloodline thing is over, when the Civil War is done, these Tongans they're gonna be mid card, opening
I
card, shot down because they can't fucking get through an episode without some kind of major botch or mistake.
I think the one Tonga isn't bad.
Tonga Noah, Tonga Tama Tama, Kama Tonga.
I'm not gonna lie, I forget all of their names, which says enough in itself. I think the smaller of the two Tongas, I think he's actually not terrible. And I don't think he's great. I think, as I stated earlier, Jacob Fatu is hands down the second best wrestler we've ever seen from the bloodline. Sami Zayn doesn't count, so don't mention Sammy. But yeah, no, I don't, I agree with you 100%. And that's why I bring up the Wyatts, because I think that the second tier bloodline feuding with the Wyatts is a way to keep that second tier group of the bloodline relevant while also continuing the Wyatt storyline. I
It
think
could
it makes a
happen.
lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't think you keep the Wyatts on one show either.
Oh,
I think
they're not.
you have them go show to show and attack certain people for certain reasons.
They cannot be tied to any show. They should be able to show up wherever and whenever they feel necessary. And I think that's the right way to do it.
Absolutely. There's no reason to keep them. I hate to go to SmackDown and think, "Wow, I'm never going to see the Wyatts now." But then all of a sudden have them pop up. It'd be fucking fantastic.
I think what we will more than likely see is obviously we're playing out this feud now with Gable, and I agree with you. I think it's going to lead into something at SummerSlam, and then maybe when we don't expect them to show up, maybe that's when we start to see them show up on SmackDown or wherever. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
No, I agree. 1,000%. Anything else you want to talk about? I think we covered everything good up for a week.
Trying to think if I missed anything.
I'm trying to think too. Before I play the Joe Henry music again.
You could play the Joe Henry music again anyway, and then we could still think about it.
Well, I don't want to violate too much copyright when they start blocking us out.
Yeah, that's true. That is
You
very
only
true.
you can only do a couple seconds here and there. So
Um,
what else happened this week that I forget now.
we talk about so obviously we're building for a Drew Punk match somewhere. So that's what I wanted to talk about. There's hasn't been a ton of SummerSlam matches announced, but one of them has been Gunther Damian Priest. Has not been a ton of build up for it as of yet. I don't
I'm
think.
Gunther wins hands down.
I think it's time for Gunther to get a heavyweight title run. I do agree with that.
I mean,
Um,
he jobbed to fucking Sammy. He did the right thing. He did what he was supposed to do, and he will be rewarded with that title at SummerSlam.
so I've heard several people mention this lately.
Unless they're turning him face, and then
That's
he'll
going to be
lose.
a hard one to turn face.
Hey, right now, who is the face going into that match anyway? So with the fucking Judgment Day, we can never tell if they're fucking face or heel. What are you from week to week? We don't know.
I think that this is we are officially at the point now where they have to break up in some form. If you want to keep JD and Finn and Dom together, and then
With
have
live.
with Liv, which makes sense, and then break off Rhea and Damien, that makes a lot of sense to me. I wish Damien was just a little bit better on the microphone, a little bit better, a lot bit better. Um, you know, I could see that happening here in the relative future. All of the pieces are laid on the board for a Judgment Day breakup. I think it's been played out for honestly since before even Rhea went down. I think they've been starting to build those seeds of maybe this is coming to an end for some members, maybe not all. I don't know. I don't know that I can see them breaking the whole thing apart.
As soon as Rhea blew up, that was the end of that group. They were already plotting her leaving. When you're supposed to be the bad one, you're getting cheered as much as she did. It's done.
Well, she's
just get ready to
100% a face.
yeah, just get ready to move on now because that's the end of that.
What's sad about that is that I'm not even sure what they could do to turn her heel if they wanted to. Like right now, I don't think there's anything.
Have to like kick a baby or something
on live television.
Something ridiculous. Interrupt Cody's entrance. That'll get people pissed off. Or Seth Rollins' entrance. That's how you're a heel nowadays.
As I've said, I like Seth's more than Cody's.
I'm done with both of them. I'm not gonna lie. It's like shut up and get in the ring.
I'm a sucker for Seth, though. I still think he's the best all around performer. Okay, back to Gunther, because this is what I was going to say. I've seen a bunch of people mention this online, and they've said that they feel Gunther is the best all around, in ring, on mic, all around performer that WWE has right now.
On mic?
They said all around. They say he cuts great promos. He can go against anyone on the mic. In the ring, his work is in the in-ring stuff. I wouldn't argue with the mic stuff. I might debate a little bit. The in-ring stuff, though, no, he's hands down one of their best probably one of the 5 best performers they have in the whole company right now.
That's why there's nobody. I don't think there's any way, unless they're really turning him face and they're going to make him do the chase all the way to Mania. There's no way he loses that at SummerSlam.
You're really going to keep the belt on Priest that long?
I don't know. I said it all depends on how they're going to start looking at Gunther now. Are they going to look at him as face? Are they going to keep Damian Priest? Because Damian Priest still goes back and forth. I don't know what he is. Are you a heel? Are you a face? What the fuck?
It seems like they're trying to make him a heel, but his promos are so bad that no one's buying it. I feel bad. I feel bad.
Shut up. You're a face.
Yeah, I feel bad for raking on the guy, but God, his promos are just god awful. They're so bad. They're so bad. Oh, he'll get there one day, hopefully. Hopefully. Like I said, I think in ring he's phenomenal. But yeah, the mic stuff, man, it's just so bad. It's so bad. His Dom stuff has been a little bit better. I'll give him that. The whole Dom stuff wasn't as terrible as some of his outright promos that he's cutting in the locker room, where it feels like he's standing there looking like this, and the script is right in front of him. And then we're going to Burger King. It's like,
and Carlito's been the breakout of that group.
I mean,
He's
he's the
been
R-Truth
hilarious.
replacement. He's been the R-Truth replacement. That's all he's
Yeah.
been.
Like when he said it's not that hard, and he looked down and said, "Well, well."
That was fucking hilarious.
And I don't know if you picked up
Actually,
on this because he was kind of walking away Monday night when Liv was talking to Dominic before their match, saying, "Oh, we're gonna have a great match. We're gonna win." And he's like, "All right, fine." And as he's walking away, he goes, "You better have nuggies."
yeah, I did.
Or tendies. You better have tendies or whatever the hell he said. I was like, dude, that is hilarious. They're still
Yeah,
feeding him tendies.
I did. I did
It
catch
was one of
that.
those little subtle things. I was like, anybody else catch that? There better be
So,
tendies in the room.
a couple people were mad that Dom finally beats Ray in a match, and it's overshadowed by the fact that Rhea returns.
Yeah, well, you can't win them all. Speaking of which, I was pissed that they went off the air. I wanted to see a little more of Rhea smacking Dom around.
Well, hey, I'm sure we'll see something on Monday. I don't know what we'll see, but
yeah, I can't wait for that because that's going to be a lot of groveling. But they're going to turn on her.
do they just throw the belt back on Rhea at the first possible chance, or do we build up? Do we have a long build up or a long live run that builds up into something else?
No, I don't think we're gonna have a long live. Listen, I love Liv. I do. Live, love, 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 live, love. But she's not a champion. She's not a good champion like that. She's gotten
I
better. She's gotten a lot better. But I don't think she's that long term champion. She's more of a holdover for the
get
next
it.
one. For the next one.
Which
And I'm a
is-
huge Liv fan.
Which
like
I
said,
guess is we all assume is Rhea again.
Yeah. I'll tell you, yeah, we got Rhea coming. So we're gonna have Tiffany Stratton's getting better. Chelsea Green's getting up there. Every year they switch shows, so anything can happen.
Have you heard anything about Charlotte? I haven't seen anything. I know she's been at a lot of the shows.
Yeah,
but I haven't heard anything.
Because she's with Andrade, because that's a weird couple. But anyway,
well,
she I don't know how close she is to getting ready, but I follow her on one of the stupid things, and she's not wearing a cast or a brace or nothing anymore. They're showing her working out a lot, so I assume she's, if not SummerSlam, I'm assuming maybe the Rumble, maybe sooner than that.
The Rumble is not till January.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe sooner than that. Then
that's a long way. That's
she
a
looked
long
like
way off.
She looked like she was in good. She could return at the Rumble. I mean, at SummerSlam, and then get involved somehow. But that's the key question now. Who wins 17 first? Charlotte or John Cena?
We'll find out in the next 12 months. How about
that? Flair wants Charlotte to do it before she's gone.
That's a good question too, because she's not a spring chicken either.
No, she started late. She started in her 30s, not like the rest of them. They all started in the 20s.
Yeah. How old is she? She is actually not as old as I thought. She's 38. She's only a couple years older than me. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know though off the top of my head what the women's life expectancy is in ring. So I don't know what the average. I'm not as familiar. I know the men. It's usually like mid 50s, usually, or early to mid 50s is usually when they all call it off.
I remember Mae Young was taking power bombs through tables when she was like 80. So
have you ever seen some of the stuff about Bubba Ray talking about some of those?
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Where she's like demanding to take the bump and calling him a pussy and things like that. I'm like, this lady was fucking nuts.
Put me through a table, May. We can't do this. Put me through the table, you pussy. Whoa. All right.
Oh, okay. Guess so. Yeah. So she's not that old. 38's that's not really that old. But like I said, I don't know. I can't think of any women wrestlers that wrestled into their late 40s, early 50s. How old is Trish? I know she doesn't really wrestle anymore. Trish is 48, and she's been done for how long now? I mean, I know she came back and did some small runs here and there, but I mean, she's basically been done for what, the better part of a decade?
And she's probably in better shape now than she was back in her prime, wrestling wise. She looks good. Charlotte, I'm not a big Charlotte fan, but I mean, her body is unbelievable as far as like being in shape. I mean,
She's been married 3 times. I thought it was 5 times. I was looking at that wrong. It's like,
five
holy shit,
times,
5
five
times,
times,
5
five
times.
times.
No, only 3. Only 3 times. Not nearly as crazy as I thought. Whatever happened to the other Flair siblings?
Reed died, overdose.
That I heard about. What about, wasn't David the one who wrestled in WCW?
Yeah, he just got fat and old.
Oh, okay. He doesn't wrestle anymore.
No, he was dead a long time ago. The only
How
reason
did Reed?
Charlotte
Oh,
became a
you said
wrestler,
drug overdose.
yeah, the only reason Charlotte became a wrestler is because Reed died. He wanted to be in the WWE so bad. When he died, she said, "Well, I'm going to fulfill his dream for him," and that's how she became a wrestler. So if he didn't die, we wouldn't have Charlotte.
Well, and I know Triple H mentioned in the 30 for 30 doc that that they tried to sign Reed multiple times, but he kept failing his fucking drug tests.
Yeah, and he's oh no, it's not me. You got the wrong guy, or that can't be. That was an aspirin. He was like, dude, really?
An aspirin. Okay.
It's like, dude, it's not even like weed or coke, dude. You're fucking shooting up black tar heroin for Christ's sake.
Yeah. There's not many drugs we can mistake that for.
Yeah, we're not gonna mistake that for Advil. I hate to tell you. By the way, not to bring that up, but have you ever heard the 911 call? Ric Flair's
No.
fucking. That's one of the saddest things you'll ever hear in your life.
I don't want to. I don't want to. No, I don't want to do that.
Ric Flair calling 911. Very fucking upsetting.
Is that what when he found him?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I can't do that. That stuff. Oh, that eats
Yeah.
me up.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks big time.
He was 25.
Yeah, he was young.
Fuck, he was young. Jesus. I forget that Ric Flair has like 38 kids. Well, he only has like 4 that we know about, but
That we know about, exactly.
I'm sure there's a lot more.
Well, he said he slept with 10,000 women, so
The math on that is just absurd, by the way.
well, the guy lived his gimmick. Not many people can say that.
I'm not saying I don't believe him. I'm just saying the math on that is wild.
That's the best part. He comes out and fully admits what a douchebag he was. Like, oh yeah, I cheated on my wife constantly. I couldn't stand being home and faithful.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. And how's he been married 5 times? You'd think the 4th and the 5th would have been like, I can't marry this asshole. He wastes all my money buying fucking Rolexes and $900 shoes, and he fucking bangs anything that moves.
Literally. Does he have any money left?
He's always broke because he's living the gimmick, man. As soon as he gets it, he gets rid of it.
Say he's worth close to $500,000 today.
That's why he's doing all these fucking commercials and all this other stuff that he does.
So she's probably worth more than he is. Shit.
In North Carolina, they have Ric Flair scratch off tickets. But you know what? Matter of fact, we can't get in trouble for that. I'm gonna look one up right now.
Yeah, no, we can put. No one's gonna say shit about that. Hi Tim, let's go Mets.
Ric
Terzio.
Flair scratch off. Let me see.
Literally 5 times. That's insane. How the hell you get married 5 times? Hey, listen, him and Elizabeth Harrell were married for 23 years. That's a big success for him.
Yeah, and he wasn't faithful 1 second of it.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. With Spectrum Internet, you can power all.
Did you hear all that? You didn't hear that, did you?
A little bit.
All right, here we go. We gotta do it. How do we do it now? Do it this way? No, this way.
Here, I got you. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. And I'll blow it up. And yeah, there's like 5 of them or something like that. But we're not gonna play all of them. It will go full screen.
It takes a lot to be the man. If you need to brush up on your styling and profiling,
Even your knife hand chop, then you might be woo university material. But if you think you're ready for the woo right now, then check out the Woo 2 scratch-off game from the North Carolina Education Lottery. That's enough to make anyone say woo! Come on! Woo! And again, woo!
Jesus.
When I first saw
Oh
that,
my
I was like, is this real? First of all, I want one. I was like, I have to find a Ric Flair scratch-off ticket. What's another one?
Can I get one of those woo tickets?
Excuse me?
One of those woo tickets.
It's not woo, it's woo! Woo! Introducing Ric Flair's new Woo! Scratch-off ticket for the North Carolina Educational Lottery with a top prize of $100,000. It's enough to make anyone say
Terrible.
woo! 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 Woo!
Whatever. Hey, whatever happened? Every time I hear him say that, I always think of Jay Lethal. Whatever happened to him?
Jay Lethal?
Yeah, is he still on AEW?
I don't know. I know he was for a long time. I don't know if he still is. That's all of them, I think. But yeah, those are pretty goddamn funny.
He is currently signed to AEW. Yeah, he is still apparently signed to AEW.
But he don't do any of that shit no more. I think he does. He doesn't do the Macho Man. He doesn't do Flair. He's just Jay Lethal, and it's like, why? No one wants to just see you.
No, it was way better when he was the woo off between him and Flair was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I think we covered some good amounts for the weekend.
I think so. I can't think of anything particularly right now that we missed.
No, I think we did. I think we did very good, especially considering it's officially Saturday now.
It is midnight. Technically, we haven't done a 2-hour show yet, so part of me says we can't cut off yet. So.
It's just not like us.
Yeah, this is very out of the order. It's because we're only 2. If there was 3 of us, we would have done it. No problem.
Oh, I'm not fucking this up again. There we go. On the way out.
Oh, okay. You got me excited. I knew what it was.
On the way out. On the way out, I'm going to do it. So, yeah, I think that's good. But we got 3 weeks until SummerSlam. The card's starting to build, so that should be fun. SummerSlam is usually good.
Does Roman show up at SummerSlam or before?
I would say, that's the thing. I don't know what they're doing because I assumed. I mean, in my head, it was Roman comes back, tells Solo, "I got this. I'm back. Take a step aside." They beat the shit out of him. He leaves, comes back with the Usos and Zilla or whoever the hell else they're going to bring in. And that's the end of that. And then The Rock will reveal himself as the true bloodline boss, and that'll start, the whole Civil War.
And my other question, well, that was my other question. When does The Rock come back? Yeah, I don't think we missed anything. I think we got pretty much everything.
Well, the way that documentary put it, the boring documentary that it was, we're going to get Roman versus The Rock next year. I mean, that's how I'm assuming they're going to do it now. No
title. It sounded like.
I think that's what they're going to do, Roman versus The Rock. So they got to start getting that shit going.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if The Rock comes back and decides to like rip the belt off of Cody at like the Rumble or something that leads to him and Roman at Mania for the title.
Oh, you think I don't know if they're going to give him the title, but hey, shit happens.
My only question is The Rock going to put over Roman even further, or does The Rock have to win that match?
No, I think he puts him over.
He should.
No, I think he puts him over.
He should, because even though I know that Cena has officially announced he's in his last run here, we're not getting many more Rock runs. Sorry to say. No. I was shocked we got as long as a run out of him last year as we did, because that man is constantly making movies. So
yeah.
And he's in his 50s. I think he's 53 now. He's not as young as he once was, as they say. He's 52. He just turned 52 in May. So Keeps himself in good shape though.
Hells yeah.
And he looked good in the ring. I will say that. Both nights of Mania, I
did.
thought he looked really good. Even in the tag team match, I was impressed.
Yeah, he did. He looked good. So, all right. Well, we'll see how it works out in the next couple of weeks. Rhea Ripley's back Monday, so that should be fun. We'll find out why Taylor Rotunda was in this dude's office. That should be good too. And yeah, 3 weeks. I'm pumped. And AEW is probably doing something, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. That's what Dave should be. He should be our AEW correspondent to tell us what's going on over there.
Once we lacked AEW content tonight without Dave.
I know. Again, like I said, I hope they succeed. I hope they turn it around, but they're not going to do it as long as, you know, this asshole sniffing coke is in charge of everything.
All right, guys. Next, we're gonna have Chris Jericho.
I know we have 15 girls who want that title, but we're gonna give it to Sasha Banks. It's like, oh, that fucking guy.
We can't call her Sasha though, so we're gonna name her Mazda Money.
It's like, yeah, I know all these girls have been breaking their backs for 5 years to make it. Nah, I'm gonna give it to a WWE girl instead.
That in itself is the whole problem. I think Nash has talked about that numerous times. That like the moment he knew that WCW was never going to really compete with WWE long term was when him and Hall first showed up, and people genuinely believed that him and Hall could take down the entire locker room.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, he's like,
baseball
well,
bats. He's like, you realize me and us with baseball bats took out your entire roster, and you think that's a good thing? It's not a good thing.
No.
So that was good. Oh, by the way, yeah, I remember we talked about that documentary. I was sucking. Nothing new was revealed. But the one thing I did enjoy that was revealed was Rey Mysterio asked Kevin Nash to throw him through that window. And Kevin Nash
I did.
said, "No, you idiot. That's glass. I can't throw you through that fucking window. I'll just dart you into the side of it. It'll still look good," which it did. It's one of the best moments ever from that. Well, you want to get thrown through the window? It's like, no, you idiot. I'm not going to throw you through a window.
Safety first, kids.
Not in AEW, it's not.
Jesus Christ.
Tony, I have an idea. Do it. That's it. No, wait. No. Do it.
I didn't even say the idea yet, Tony. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Just do it.
But we need safety harnesses. Yeah.
That's fine. Not an issue.
Oh God, that's gonna be our new Tony Khan thing.
I do wonder how long his dad allows him to keep just hemorrhaging money before he's like, hey, enough.
Yeah, either that or start doing what WCW did at first. Move into a little tiny studio that you shoot the same show from every week instead of touring. You know what I mean? At the MGM studio that they used to do that of. Do that for now.
Save a lot of money.
You pick a little 7,000 seat arena. You'll be sold out every week.
Hey, logic. I think the fact that they thought that they could just instantly be a top competitor to WWE, like out of nowhere with no real. No, we're just gonna sign all these guys and we'll be fine.
Yeah. And I keep saying too, by the way, rumor mill is Moxley's not going back.
Where's he going? He's not coming back to WWE.
I mean, it would make sense if Roman Reigns needs help.
I mean, I think that he's too far gone with. I don't think he can tame himself enough for WWE to seriously consider bringing him back.
I don't think so.
He's too busy sticking chopsticks in his forehead and shit like that.
I'm back. What do we want me to do? Oh, you and Roman, and you're gonna reform the Shield and fight the Bloodline. All right, I got 3 forks, chopstick, and a blade. I'm all tucking in my pants.
And a slinky.
I'm using all of them. Guess which one's going to go in my ass? Guess which one? I picture him sitting there. Like, picture that conversation. He's in there, Tony, I got an idea. And he's just stabbing himself in the head with the fork. And Tony's going, what's the matter? What's the idea? He's just blood pouring down his face. These two idiots having a conversation. Dude. I can't deal with them. But that's another rumor. That's another rumor that he only signed a short-term contract as his last one or some shit. And he might be leaving.
Like I said, I don't think he's coming back to WWE. It'd probably
So
be like New Japan or something.
But imagine it's the Shield and the Usos were the 5 guys taking on
That
the
would
Rock's bloodline.
that would be fun. I will. Well, no, that's 6 guys then. No, I can't count. That is 5. Disregard. That is 5. So you have the 3 Shield and the Usos is 5. Yeah, duh.
So
That
I
would
mean,
be good. I
that
still
would
think
be
you have to have Sammy in there. No one has been closer to the bloodline than Sammy. That run Sammy had was magical with the bloodline.
it was. I was upset when they ended that.
It had to come to an end at some point, but yes,
It
it was
did, but I don't.
disappointing because it was very good. It was very
You
good.
could have done that for another year, and I don't think people would have been upset.
Well, I
The Sammy
mean,
one.
not to mention all the honorary Oos merchandise that they sold there for a while.
It's true.
Because that shirt was fucking. I saw one the other day. I saw someone wearing an honorary Oos t-shirt. I was like, oh, really?
I almost got one. Feeling Oozy. I almost got the Oozy one. I was like, better
Feeling
not.
Oosy. But some of those promos, my favorites looking back on it are the ones where he makes them break character, especially Solo.
That's almost all of them.
But Solo was the worst one. Solo would be sitting there with his towel, like just covering his face left and right because he's over there dying laughing.
Yeah, this is great. All right, I gotta go to bed. I think I'm gonna go see Despicable Me at like 9:20.
I'm debating on getting up mad early to be at the basketball gym by 8 a.m. to play ball tomorrow morning.
I wish I was still in shape to do something like that. Instead, I'm gonna go see this bunch of minions running around.
I'm not in any shape. That's good, at least. But I'm gonna go try and hope I don't break anything.
I hope so. I can't wait. Can't wait. Oh, by the way, I know this isn't the right show, but Captain America looks good.
I saw the trailer today. I was like, okay, I'm in.
Looks
Red,
just,
finally get Red Hulk, and I love the
Yes.
fact that they mentioned the difference between Harrison Ford and William Hurt. That was great.
they had to throw it in there for the people who don't get it. That's not
Hey.
William Hurt. Mustache. Whoop. Oh, okay.
Hey, the mustache. That's why it doesn't look like him.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's really for the guys who don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Your new look. It's like,
And,
really?
hey, you know what? We are 2 weeks away from Deadpool.
I already got my tickets.
Unfortunately, I'm on call that week, so I will not. No, we're not 2 weeks. It's next week. No, it's not. It is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, fuck. Then I can go opening night. Yes, let's go.
I got opening night and I got IMAX the following Sunday. I got 2 shows already.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna do IMAX on that one. I like doing the IMAX. You know, the other problem though is that there's only one. And it's not like a real IMAX theater. Like, okay, so I grew up in South Florida, and in Broward County at the the Museum of Science or whatever, they have one of like the legit IMAX theaters. Like, the screen is bigger than the state of Florida. You have to look in 12 directions at once just to see all of it. The one they have here, it's nice. I got to see Guardians of the Galaxy as a screening there, and it was very enjoyable. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe I will go over there because that one, like I said, it's not a real IMAX, but it's still a larger screen, so you can see it better than a real IMAX. But
Guardians is one of my favorite IMAX movies ever. The first
Guardians 3. Oh, I saw Guardians 3. I meant to say Guardians 3
on the 68th and Broadway, the one true IMAX. I saw it there. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And I like to sit just where I can't see the sides, so it's like you're in the fucking screen.
Yeah, so, that's the best. That's the best.
Like row H, row G, row 8, somewhere around there.
I don't know if it'll happen, but just letting you know, we're discussing potentially doing Christmas in New York again this year.
Nice, bring it up. Come on up.
If
you get some free time, you can visit Queens this time.
Yes, this time I need to come to Queens. I need to go to a actual bodega and a real Italian deli and make myself feel fatter than I am because I'm gonna go get just the most obscene amount of food you've ever seen.
You can do that. So I'll check into the pizza place everyone likes. We'll go eat there, and then you can get your bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning if you want.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on everything bagel with the salt, pepper, ketchup, baby.
That's it. You get it all.
Get that in a coffee, and my day is ready to go.
Let me know. We'll figure something out. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I got my tickets for Twisters in 40X for next Wednesday night.
I swear to God, if that seat doesn't spin 360 degrees, it's a failure. That seat
Well,
has to go a full 360.
I was telling my son, I was like, you ready for Twisters? He's like, yeah, it should be good. I said, he's like, oh, it's just gonna be the wind and the rain. I said, well, no, don't get the lightning. I go, you got the debris is gonna be flying by your head, so you're gonna have to, you're gonna get hit in the back with something. They're gonna hit you in the back with some kind of shit. I think this should be a good fun ride.
I forgot what movie. Oh, Zombieland 2. That's what I went to see in 40X, and that was an experience. That is,
I like horror. So I saw it. I thought it was great, and it's not like a 40X type movie, but
oh my God, that feels like it would be terrifying.
yeah, because when you get stabbed, you get stabbed. So it's like fucking great.
I'm not a huge horror movie guy, so I like, for instance, I saw the trailer for that new Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, Eddie saw it today. He said it was really good.
It looks haunting. It
Yeah,
looks fucking terrifying.
yeah. But the best part was, remember the floating balloon, and it pops, and it's the blood.
Yeah.
So they shoot you in the face with water.
Oh,
You should have heard the crowd. Oh, 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 you know, scream. And this one girl is wiping her face. Oh, the guy's like, "It's not blood, idiot. It's water. it's water." And I'm like,
did you realize what you bought tickets to?
I'm like, you just called your girlfriend an idiot in front of 200 strangers. That's the part I was laughing at the most. Not her flipping out. Like, you idiot, it ain't blood. It's like, you just called your girlfriend or your wife, whoever, a fucking idiot in front of 200 strangers.
Oh my God, I gotta think where I'm gonna. I might buy those tickets actually here before I get off the computer tonight.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, that's one of those movies that people want to maybe keep their mouth shut. That's why I always say opening night, we gotta go.
Yeah. Well, see, I still miss. I know we're way off topic now. I
Right.
miss. I'll never ever forget when Dark Knight came out. I was still living in Broward County at the time. I went to a Regal 23 at Sawgrass Mills Mall, 23 screen theater. They sold tickets to the theater. This was pre-assigned seat days, by the way. There was no assigned seats back then. You just bought your movie tickets and you got there fucking early if you wanted good seats. What they did is they had a line of people waiting outside, and this line was obscenely long. And what they did is that when they opened the theater, because this was when midnight screenings on Thursday night were actually at midnight, because they wouldn't let you go to no 8:00 Thursday screening. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yep.
Real midnight screenings. We waited in line, and what they did is they started letting people in. They had all 23 screens show the movie at midnight. And so the way that they let people in was you gave them your ticket, they let you in the theater, and then they would open up the first theater and fill it up. And then as soon as it filled, you'd move to the next theater, and then they'd fill it up and they move to the next theater, and so on and so on. So me and my friend caught on to what they were doing. So when we went to go in the theater, we ran in real quick and looked at the seats, realized all the good seats were taken, ran back out and darted into the next theater and got good seats. And we were very happy after that.
Dark Knight 2, it was so hot that day. And it was before pre-seats, where we were all standing outside fucking sweating our balls off.
Oh my God.
And yeah, you gotta, all right, you three go for this, you three go for seats. Mad fucking rush to the seat.
Yep.
We had good seats for that too, though, thank God.
I do, as much as the chaos kind of sucked, I do kind of miss those midnight screening days. Like, I miss those. They were a lot of fun.
The midnights were good, but we had a bad run over here at this theater of the screening always fucking up.
Oh,
So
Dark Knight Rises. I went to go see it in fucking IMAX, and the theater fucked up.
No, ours was Captain America fucked up. There was no sound for like the last 10 minutes.
The first Captain America, the first Avenger.
Transformers fucked up. We were like, oh, we can't do this anymore. Fuck these midnight shows. I'm up till 3 a.m. Got to go to work in a couple hours. I'm not doing this shit no more.
That's the craziest part about the Dark Knight one, is that when we came out of the theater at 2 something in the morning, there was a line of people because they also had a 3 a.m. showing of the movie as well. And there was a line of people waiting, and that was brutal. And it was hilarious because it wasn't someone I was there with. It was some random guy, but some random guy came out of the theater screaming just like as loud as he could, "I can't believe they killed Batman." Which I thought was fucking hilarious. Because you see all the people in the crowd like, "What the fuck, man?"
The best one was the last one I had. Was The Force Awakens. A bunch of us bought tickets, and I was like, well, I'm taking off. I'm like, where are you going? I'm going to the theater. I got to the theater at 3 o'clock for a 7 o'clock movie, and I made friends with all the managers. I said, "Hey, number one, you see me, right? I'm number one." They're like, "You're number one, dude. Relax." So when the thing finally opened, getting ready to let people in, people bum rushed, and I was like, and they said, "Yo, no, no, no." They brought me over. Said, "You're first." I said, "Well, I got these 8 people with me." They said, "Oh, go ahead. You're first. Go." And they let us in. I was like, "You
Perfect.
motherfucking right." I said, "Dude, it's Star Wars. You ain't. No one's beating me in that fucking theater. No
I
one's
think
beating
that
me
was
anyway."
I think that was the last.
That was my last, like
No, I did for Endgame. Endgame we did night of, like the Thursday night. I think it's like 8
Oh no,
o'clock or whatever.
that was my last non-assigned seat movie. Was The Force Awakens.
Oh
After
yeah,
that,
no, you're right. That was the last time to see. Now, I remember that vividly, actually. Now that you mention it, because they did the line thing similar to how Regal had done so many years prior. Which that one was just me and my daughter at the time. Which, God, how old was she then? I don't even know. But it was just the two of us that went, and yeah, man, Star Wars. I just miss those days, man. You get there early and you're bullshitting with people in line, and everyone's just there to have a good time, man. It's so different now. It's not the same anymore. No one
I,
wants to.
I like this way better because me and my kids like me, my sons like me. Like Ed, I don't know if Ed's probably sleeping. Ed is anal. He has to sit dead center. Has to. The perfect row, the perfect center. Me and my sons like me, we don't want to sit next to people. So we take the end seat. So there's always going to be one of us not sitting next to somebody. Plus, I put my shit in the aisle if I need room next to me. I can't stand that shit. So I'm not getting stuck. I told him with Deadpool, I said, someone's going to be sitting next to you for Deadpool. It's going to be fucking crowded. You're going to be ready for that. He's like, I know, I hate it. I hate people.
Well, see, I liked it for when we lived in Tennessee, because the theater we used to go to all the time for everything, it had the main row in the middle, and then the side sections up a little bit were only 2 seats. It had the staircase, and then on the other side of the staircase was 2 seats. So when I would take my daughter, it was just me and my daughter. We would just grab a two-seater, and it was perfect. It's like, oh, we got 2 seats. We're straight.
That is good.
Yeah, that was great. I love that. I got to get my Deadpool tickets, but I noticed, because I looked the day they released, and I noticed that none of the theaters were selling out super quick. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to have to like break my back to do it right this second. I'll be all right. And even if it's not like it used to be, because honestly, with my work schedule now, I don't even know if I can do Thursday night, just because staying up late on a Thursday night to have to go be at work early the next day is fucking brutal.
My only issue is the theater by me. They're very slow at the concessions, so you got to get there early to make sure you're online on time. Then again, the movie doesn't start at 7. They'll start at like 7:30. Fucking coming attractions and Maria Menounos and all that other shit that goes on.
But see, I'm really anal about I don't like going to movies and missing the previews.
Well, me neither. I don't like it either. But if you had to sacrifice something, at least you sacrifice that. But Deadpool's going to have outstanding trailers.
Well, yes, but see, the other thing too is what's so different about today compared to years ago. Now, the second the trailer hits theaters, it's online at every fucking shit. Now it hits online before it hits theaters half the time. So,
true. Yeah, we'll see Hulk on the big theater, Red Hulk on the big screen.
As a matter of fact, I remember going to see I Am Legend in IMAX. And not that I didn't want to see I Am Legend, but I probably wouldn't have done it in IMAX. But I did it because I can't remember. I think it was before the movie. They did the first
Mission Impossible.
Well, they did the opening for The Dark Knight. The bank robbery from The Dark Knight was attached to it, and I remember going and watching that for I Am Legend. I remember watching the bank robbery scene and like, fuck, I don't even got to stay and watch the movie now. Like, that was incredible. Like, I can't wait for this shit.
It wasn't I Am Legend for us because I didn't see that. The bank robbery was in front of Mission Impossible, I think.
Was it Mission Impossible? I thought it was I Am Legend. You might be right.
I never saw I Am Legend in the theater, but I saw the Dark Knight preview and the Dark Knight Rises, which I was like, wow, that was pretty horrible because you couldn't understand a word that Bane said.
Yeah, that's brutal.
You remember they had to change it. You remember that? You couldn't understand a word Bane said.
I remember going to see that. I can't remember what movie that was attached to, but I remember we bought tickets to whatever movie it was so we could go see the preview for it.
One of
And
them
yeah,
was Mission Impossible. I know that. I don't know
I
which one.
think that was The Dark Knight Rises because yeah, God, I'm gonna have to look it up because I could have sworn it was I Am Legend. I Am Legend was 2000. Yeah, I Am Legend was it. It was I Am Legend for The Dark Knight because I Am Legend was 2007 and it was in December. No, fuck, that can't be right. When did it?
July was.
Oh
Dark
no, it is right because Dark Knight was 2008.
Mm.
Yeah, so I Am Legend comes out December of 07, and they had the 5-minute preview, the bank robbery scene. Essentially, it was the whole bank robbery scene attached at the beginning. I want to say it was at the beginning. And yeah, I remember just being hooked at that one. I do remember doing the Dark Knight Rises one, and that one was brutal because, like you said, you just couldn't understand a fucking word this dude said. Like, what did he say?
I was like, what the fuck? And then I remember later on they were like, "Oh yeah, we had to change that. It didn't. People weren't happy with that." I was like, "They weren't happy. Can't understand the fucking guy saying."
Yeah, they went back and re-recorded everything with Tom Hardy.
Which is why I hate
that
movie.
I wish we could go back to the midnight screenings, but still have the assigned seats. I know we can't have it both ways because there wouldn't be the lines then. No, because that's the thing now. There's no reason for the line if you have assigned seats.
The 7:00 is the greatest thing ever. I can't do midnights no more. I'll be no matter how good the movie is, I'll be out cold. Unless I nap till 11:45, then I could probably do it.
I gotta figure out which fucking theater I'm gonna go to. I kind of want to do IMAX now that we talk about it. I can't wait though. That movie's gonna be awesome. You see the Agatha trailer?
Yes.
Whoa,
pretty cool.
I was pretty.
The addition of what's her name was fantastic.
Aubrey Plaza.
She's like perfect. The perfect witch. Perfect.
Agreed. So. Very excited for that. I just hate that. I feel like we got spoiled during COVID when everything was fucking one after the other, just Marvel content left and right. Yeah. And now it's like you got to wait fucking 6 to 10 months every time you want to watch something Marvel related now.
Well, we should be getting Daredevil soon too, no? Or that next year?
Was it Daredevil Born Again, right? That's the name of it?
Yeah.
I think it's 2026, isn't it?
26.
Oh no, March. Holy fuck. March. That's awesome. We're less than a year away.
Oh, good. I was gonna say. They've been filming. I've seen them in the city filming.
The fact that they brought back Bernthal and of course D'Onofrio, who's fucking one of the most spot on character castings of all time, by the way.
I think both of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean Bernthal too. Do you watch The Bear?
Yes, I love The fucking Bear.
How great is that fucking show, man?
And Bernthal is. I just watched the. What are you up to? Do you finish it?
I'm all the way. I'm done with season 3.
I just watched the one where he meets the girl for the first time.
Tina,
and that the whole scene with them in the back of the bear. I was like, this guy is fucking phenomenal. He is phenomenal.
He's such a scene stealer on that show, man. He's such a scene stealer.
And season 2 with the Christmas dinner when they were
holy fuck. You know what that reminded me of? Especially the scene where they're actually at the dining table for the dinner. It reminded me of Uncut Gems with just that fucking anxiety build up. You're like, oh fuck. Like that's what it reminded me of, was Uncut Gems.
Yeah, that was so good. It was so good. But yeah, that scene with him and Tina, that was like the last 15 minutes of the episode, all just them talking.
It was wonderful though. It was
fucking great.
Bernthal, yeah, he all the casting in that show, and I love that they let all the little characters kind of have their moments to really shine, and they all knock it out of the park. The casting on that show is so good, so fucking good. But yeah, Bernthal.
I laughed on that. Like, look, we got the Punisher and Ben Grimm on the show together now.
Dude, how great is Richie on that show though?
He is. He's outstanding.
He went from. Oh yeah, I agree completely. Dude, considering where he started, where that show starts, and you're like, does he really need to be here? Can we just get rid of him? And now you're like, I fucking love Richie.
Richie's the best.
Yeah, no, that show is.
Yeah, that show it's full of like I'm a huge Jeremy Allen White fan. Bernthal fan, and now
Kid can act his ass off.
I
Jeremy
don't know
Irons.
I don't know what Glenn Grimm's real name is, but Richie's real name is, but he's fucking outstanding.
Oh God, he's got some crazy long name. Eben Moss Backrash. I don't know how to say his last name. But yeah, no, he's blown me away. I don't know that I've ever seen him in anything before the Bear. I probably have and just didn't realize it. But yeah, no, he's amazing. What about Jamie Lee Curtis coming in throwing 99-mile-an-hour heaters in
She was great.
these
Dude,
pop-up spots?
How Cena was
Oh
hysterical.
yes, coming in as one of the facts. I loved it.
I'm gonna haunt you. I'm gonna haunt you. He's like, dude, don't haunt me. And he just sees him behind him, and goes, "I'm haunting you." It's like,
I'm haunting you.
what the fuck is this? But
It
those
was
two
so
guys
good,
too.
though.
I laugh because like you had the first guy. I'm not good with the names.
Maddie Matheson is the main fact that's always on the show.
Now you had the brother coming in to help, and then it's like. Then the uncle shows up. I'm like, oh my god, they're casting the exact same guy for every role. Fat guys with beards.
What about how funny it is every time they bring up the sister?
Yeah,
they're like, she can fuck, and that's all they say. like, okay.
But Cena had me rolling. He had me fucking dying. I'm gonna haunt you.
His cameo was phenomenal. Yeah, I love the show. It's great.
Remember, he walked off screen, and you're like, okay, that was funny. And he comes creeping back in, and he goes, "I'm haunting you."
I'm haunting you. It was so good.
What is going on? I'm probably gonna watch that. I'm probably gonna watch that now before I go to bed. I'll watch one episode.
Have you finished season 3 yet, or no?
No, I haven't finished 3 yet. I gotta finish.
Okay.
That's the last episode I watched with Cena. Cena's episode.
Oh, so you only got a couple left then. I want to say that I think she's episode 7, right? Of season 3?
I think she's 7. I think she's 7, yeah.
Yeah, so you only got 3 left. That's a quick hour and a half right there.
I don't know if I'll make an hour and a half, but I'm definitely gonna watch one now because I love that show. So
when I just want to know when we're getting season 4, because supposedly they filmed 3 and 4 back to back. So I'm thinking we're not going to have to wait too terribly long here. I do think season 4 is going to probably end it. As much as I like season 3, season 2 was way better. I thought season 2 was just
2 was fantastic. Yeah, that whole build up, they each had their own episode, and just kept building to that fucking Christmas dinner, building, and then.
All the casting too for that Christmas dinner. What about fucking Oliver Platt? Oliver Platt just coming in and doing some of the best work that, in my opinion, that he's ever done.
John Mulaney was great. They're all great. They're all great on that show.
Yeah, the casting's so good. The scripts are incredible. Yeah, no, I love it. My buddy kept telling me like, "Oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." So like, I literally didn't start watching it until earlier. I finished season 2 right as season 3 was releasing. And then I just burned through season 3. But yeah, no, it took me probably like 2 episodes, and I was just like, okay, this is good. Let's watch it. And then just the layers it throws in there. But there's the other show, it's completely different premise and everything like that. But the other show that really hooked me like that was Ted Lasso. Did you watch Ted Lasso?
I only watch. I didn't watch. You know why? I don't have Apple.
Oh,
and I never finished it. I only watched like, how many seasons were there?
5.
I think I made it through half a season, I think.
Oh,
and then my Apple ran out.
That show was it 5 seasons? No, it's 3 seasons. I'm way off.
I used my Apple to watch like the Beastie Boys documentary and stuff like that.
Ted Lasso was a great show. I really like that one. Supposedly they're going to do spin-off shows from it, but you got check that one out too. That one's really good. Really, really good. Not quite as chaotic as The Bear, but I will say this, as someone who's worked in a kitchen before, I never worked in like a high-end kitchen, but I worked in a nice kitchen. That is the most accurate depiction of what a kitchen looks like during service time. Like 100%, like 100%. Like it's the closest thing I've seen in a movie or TV show ever.
You know who else is great? Bear. What's his name? The one that fucking screams at him all the time. Tells me he sucks. He's a fucking asshole. And he has the flashbacks of what he was learning. What's his name? Shit.
Oh, fucking Joel McHale. Joel McHale.
I couldn't think of his name. Joel McHale is so great on that show too.
Oh, you just wait. Just wait.
He was good on that too.
You will see him again.
Oh, he comes back in the last 3 episodes?
You will see him again.
Nice.
and
That's good.
and
He was
and
good.
and 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 I can't believe how well Joel McHale executes that role, because holy fuck, he
You
is the
hate him.
best prick chef I've ever seen.
Like, you really hate him. It's like,
You do, and he, that's what I think is just so impressive about the performances on that show, is whoever comes in, they come in and they're just throwing straight gas. Like I said, Jamie Lee Curtis in the Christmas episode, holy fuck, man. Oh my god. But dude, burning through 2 packs of fucking Pall Mall lights while she's drinking with 38 timers going off, cooking dinner. Holy shit.
and the
That
fish,
episode is unbelievable. The
yeah, that
7
was so good.
fishes.
It was so fucking good. And of
Yeah.
course, what
No.
we forget him too. Now I'm bad with names. The one from SNL, the one from Breaking Bad.
Oh god, I can't remember his name. He plays Lee in the episode. I can't remember his fucking
Him
real
too
name
at
though.
the Christmas table. Fucking, it's like all-star. That's an all-star cast around that table.
That scene, that Christmas table scene is I mean, it's a fucked up scene, but it's so good. Like, it's executed. The acting is just top notch. It's
It
so
is.
good. Yeah, no, it's I figured I was gonna like the show, and then when the show really starts getting going, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. I loved it. It's one of the best shows I've watched here in a long time. I mean, that one episode alone is some of the craziest TV I've ever watched. It's
I
just,
agree.
I put it up there
I
with,
was upset in the beginning, like you said, because they each got their own episode, and some of them were kind of boring. And I was like, I don't care how this kid learned how to bake or how this guy went to the hair, but I said all the build up was worth it to get to that
yeah,
episode, and it was just like
100%.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, everyone's great. The acting's unbelievable. The script writing's great. Jeremy Allen White is fucking killing it on that show. He's really fucking good. I thought he was really good in the wrestling movie that's name
Iron
escapes
Claw.
me. Iron Claw. I thought he was great in Iron Claw. I thought they were all great in Iron Claw. I thought Iron Claw was I really liked it. I mean, it's fucking depressing. It's the most depressing story you've ever watched, but
Yep.
it's really good. And they actually left shit out, as I know we've talked about previously. They left a lot of shit out, and it's still depressing as fuck to watch.
Yeah, I like
But
that movie a lot too. I watched it since it popped up on fucking Max Night. I watched it a bunch of times.
I've watched it twice. I watched it once. A buddy of mine let me borrow his bougie streaming service that has everything. And then once it was on Max, I watched it a second time.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a very good one. Well, see, now we just did a half hour of TV. See, we were good. We're hitting that. We're hitting that 2 hour mark.
Yeah, shit. I didn't even realize we're that far. Do you watch House of Dragons? Are you Game of Thrones guy?
I like Game of Thrones. I have not watched 1 second of House of Dragons yet.
The first, it's good. It's not Game of Thrones. It's good.
That's what
It's
I
not
figured. So it's like I don't even know if I want to bother.
It is good. It is good. I'm not trying to say it's not. Game of Thrones is way better. And maybe that's favoritism, because I've seen I think I've watched Game of Thrones beginning to end like 3 times now. Yeah, it's not as good, but it's good. It's still good.
If it ends a certain way, I might check it out.
Yeah, it wouldn't, if you get some free time. The episodes are long, so it does take a lot longer to get through.
If it's like 7 seasons, I'm like, no, I'm not watching this show. If it ends like 3 or 4, then I'll probably go back and watch them.
Well, I see. I'm not as familiar with the book, so I don't know. I know that the House of the Dragon is supposed to cover like the entire Targaryen history.
I don't know.
If they're gonna really get into the nitty gritty and cover all that, then 7 seasons is doable.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I have to ask then, since we're talking Game of Thrones, thoughts on the final season?
I know a lot of people hated it. I fucking loved it. I liked it. I liked it because I mean, I understand, like, you sped everything up, got everything done quickly, but I always, taking 7 hours to get, 7 episodes to get somewhere got annoying after a while. So they were like, fuck it. We're going to get there fast now. We're going to get from this place to this place pretty goddamn quick, because we're going to have some good times with it. I enjoyed that part. I thought it was fine for the last season. You got more content. You got more shit. You got more storylines done that way. Instead of walking for 5 episodes.
They tied up the loose ends. I think the biggest thing that people were mad about is they didn't tie up the loose ends the way people wanted them to. Everyone wanted Jon Snow to end up on the throne, and realistically that never made sense for his character. It just didn't.
And everyone hated Bran. I didn't hate Bran at all. I thought he was fucking cool as a three-eyed raven. That was a pretty cool shit to have.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
You know why people hated Bran? Because he had to have his ass dragged all over the place. That's why people hate him. Like, we got to drag this.
I figured they hated him because of Hodor.
No, that too. But it's him. He had to have his ass drug all over the place. He can't just get up and run. No, don't forget the blind kid. We got to fucking drag him along with us or whatever. The crippled kid. No, I thought it ended completely perfect.
Thoughts on the Clegane Super Bowl that we saw in the final season? Finally getting to see the Hound face off against his brother, the Mountain.
That was good. That was the whole look. It made sense again that the whole fucking castle's crumbling around them. That's
for them both to die that way.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want them to like the world's ending, and we're finally gonna fucking find out who's more badass, which one of us.
Well, I think oh God, what's his name? The actor he's in the new show, and they were asking him what's the fuck is his name? Reese Ifans. He played
he was Doc Connors, right? And
exactly. And correct, him. So he's in the show. He plays a key role, and they were asking him like, thoughts on the characters, and he's like, "How about this?" He's like, "All these characters are fucking terrible people, and we get to watch them all die. Let's just enjoy that."
Well,
I thought that was fitting.
The last season gave us Ramsay Bolton, eaten by dogs. You got Littlefinger.
That wasn't the last season.
Well, I mean, I can't count the last two, because the last two I think people have the most problems because they were like I said, they were ending things. They were
I will fight to the death on anyone who says that. What was it, season 6? The season before the last one was bad. That season might have been my favorite. That season was incredible.
But like you said, they Ramsay Bolton got eaten by dogs. Littlefinger got fucking. My favorite scene was the Littlefinger courtroom, whatever you want to call it. That whole fucking scene. That whole scene. I watched that scene about 1,000 times. Just his face when she fucking turns and says accusing him. He's like, "What? The fuck he's talking about? Wait, what?"
Me?
And Ari just gives him that little look like my sister asked you a question. And he gets all fucking pissy right away. I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" And then Bran hits him with "You held a knife to my father's throat. You told him not to try." And he goes, "How the fuck do you know that?" And he's like, I was like, "This is the greatest scene ever."
It was a very good scene.
I love that scene.
Oh no, I'll go to battle on season 6. I thought season 6 was incredible. Yeah, no, I mean my youngest daughter's name is Arya because of Arya on this. Like, I just thought that was the most badass little character I've ever seen.
Yeah, she was fucking phenomenal by the end of it.
Oh my god, even her killing the Night King. Like, come on.
It made sense to me.
Oh, I thought it made a ton of sense.
People fucking hated it for some reason.
How epic is that scene? That whole lead up, and he's approaching Bran, and everything's happening. It looks like everyone's about to die, and then you hear the whoosh by one of the Night Walkers, and then you just see her jumping at him with the dagger, and she catches him, or he catches her, and then she's like, "Ha ha ha!"
She was fucking the slick trick. I was like, "Oh my god!" No, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree completely. I love the fact that she was the one that killed him. I thought that was so good.
And Daenerys had to go. She had to go. She was crazy.
Yeah, once she went full mad queen, she had to be offed as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
It doesn't make sense to me. No, I loved it. I loved the last season. I thought it was fine. Like, although people, it used to take 3 days to get someplace by boat. Now it's instantaneous. Dude, who cares? I like it better that way.
They were giving us like 90 to 120 minutes of content on a weekly basis for like 2 solid months in that last season. So even though it maybe didn't end the way we all thought it would or wanted it to, it was good. There was a lot of great.
Lord of the Rings is fucking 2.5 hours of walking and a half hour of fucking fighting. No, I don't want that shit. I want to see some good stuff.
Half hour might be generous. 15 minutes.
So no, I loved it. I thought it was great. See, I want to do that new show that I was talking about. I told you about the new show I want to do, right?
Which one?
The Kitchen
recasting?
Sink. No, the kitchen
Oh
sink.
no, the kitchen sink. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be love to jump in on stuff like that.
See now, the first, I one of the topics we could discuss first off is best and worst last shows. A lot of people have a problem with a lot of episodes, a lot of shows. A lot of people hate Seinfeld. A lot of people hate, you know,
Sopranos.
Sopranos. A lot of people hate, that's a good topic for a show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring that back to Frachi
I
and tell him.
I
I think
I
I think
think
it's time we do the kitchen sink.
I think with any show that's beloved like that, that's like truly a hit show that's beloved, that's well done, it's hard to come to an ending that you're going to satisfy everyone on. So you just got to come to an ending that you're content with as the writer and and the person who's coming up with the show. You just have to find a place that you feel is right, and that's what you got to stick with. You're not going to appease everybody. It's never going to work that way. I don't care what your ending is. You can't appease everyone. So just do what you feel is right, and let's see where it takes us.
Well, people hated Seinfeld. I said, yeah, but what's more punishment than these four ending up locked up together? Well, except Elaine, she was in the women's prison, or the women's part. It just made sense that they're the worst people around, and that trial proved that they're the worst people, and they all got locked up together for a year. I just thought it was great. I thought it was a great twist. The people, fucking stupid, fucking Joe, and don't even give us his art of The Sopranos. I mean, when it happened, it sucked.
Yes.
When it happened, because you're like, why is my TV not working? What's wrong with the cable? What the fuck just happened? Who shut my TV off? But then you realize, like, all right, that was kind of weird. But then when you realize what happened, you're like, oh.
What do you mean realize what happened? What are you implying happened?
He got shot. He's dead. That was
So
the moment the guy came out of the bathroom and shot him in the head.
Are you okay? So you're not of the belief that there's one of the characters that is shown in the diner in that scene is a character that I can't remember his name now. It's been so many years since I watched it. I mean, I was a fucking teenager when I watched that show. One of the characters in the scene when they're panning around the diner, one of the guys sitting at the table is a character that he sent away, not necessarily on good terms, but he kind of like made him leave town or whatever.
No,
and as they're panning around it, I can't remember the dude's name.
No. I think you're talking about Richie, not Richie.
Yes. No, not Richie.
No.
Fuck.
I can't think of his name either.
Yo, but so you're not of that belief though. You think it was the guy that came out of the bathroom?
No, the guy in the members only jacket. That's the guy you're talking about.
I believe so.
Yeah, because he walked in right before AJ, sat down, and he looks at Tony. Doesn't order anything, just sits there. Gets up and goes to the bathroom. And then you figure Tony looks at the door, boom, he got shot and he's dead. Because him and Bobby talked about that in the boat in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
What do you see when you die? Nothing. You see black, and that's it. You go to black. It just makes fucking perfect sense.
That does make. I like the way you explain that. That
Plus
does make
the guy.
a lot of sense.
Now here's the thing though. I don't believe it was a mob hit. It was Eugene. Remember Eugene got the money and he wanted to move to Florida. Tony told him he can't go. Remember he was a millionaire. He wanted to move to Florida and he had the members only jacket on. Remember they made him go to fucking Boston to commit a murder wearing the members only jacket.
That's the guy. That's it. He's the one that they show in the diner at the end there.
But he kills himself, Eugene. No, Eugene kills himself. Remember he hangs himself?
What the fuck was it? What the fuck was the dude's name? I'm trying to look up pictures of it to see if I can find him.
Well, the guy in the members, the guy coached in the members only jacket. I'm thinking that's fucking Eugene's jacket. I'm thinking the wife. This is my personal. If I had the pen in my hand, the wife who was a millionaire hired this guy to kill Tony because Eugene hung himself in the basement. I don't think it was a mob hit.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think Tony's too smart for that, and that's too easy for Tony. He got shot by some random asshole who was paid by a fucking wife who was pissed off that they couldn't move to Florida because Eugene fucking hung himself in their basement. To me, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I like I said, I remember watching it, and in the moment you're disappointed because you wanted some form of closure. But I also remember watching that episode and looking at the clock every 5 seconds because this was like pre-DVR days where you're like, oh fuck, it's about to end. What the fuck's gonna happen in the next 2 minutes here?
Why is Journey playing? What the hell's going on? Like what's
exactly.
Why can't Metal park the fucking car? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But again, imagine the horror of Carmella and Anthony watching him get shot right fuck in front of them in the booth, which is why
Yeah.
also AJ sat on Carmella's side, and that's why Meadow can't park the car because if she parked the car and came in on time, she would have been
She'd be
blocking
sitting next
Tony.
to Tony. Yeah.
It just all makes sense to me. That's
It
what I'm
makes a
saying.
lot of sense. It makes a ton of sense.
Because why? Remember when fucking Vito lost all the weight and they're making fun of his clothes? It's like, oh, you're wearing a members only jacket. How fucking old is that jacket? It just makes sense that the guy at the fuck who came in was wearing a members only jacket, and then he doesn't order anything. He looks around.
Yeah,
Gets
you're
up and
right.
goes to the bathroom. Tony gave him a little glance.
He gives him Michael. He kills him Michael Corleone style. He sits down at the table. He doesn't really do anything. I gotta piss. He goes to piss, grabs a gun.
And
To
remember,
the dome?
every time the bell rings, Tony looks up to see who's coming in. So he looks up, and then you see black because that's what he sees, which is now black because he just got fucking shot in the head.
It makes sense. I'm not
Let me
gonna
tell
lie.
you something. I will live by that ending for the rest of my life. I don't care what
But I
anyone
think-
says.
I think that's what David Chase has said though. That like
Chase
he
did
he,
come out
he
and
did.
say Tony died. He died.
Oh,
They-
okay. Okay.
Yeah, he did. He did come out and say that he finally said that he got shot. Doesn't give an explanation of too much into it. But I think my thing makes perfect sense.
But I also think from a show standpoint, it makes more sense being that that's the series finale that we don't get an explanation for it. That it just
Which
does.
is-
You know.
Which is fine. I guess. But I don't know. I kind of like my theory.
I know. I like yours as well. I think. Well, I've always kind of leaned towards that he dies. I just wasn't sure by who or how or what or why. All the normal questions.
Well, I see
like
how
your theory,
how
though.
poetic is it that he got shot by some random housewife with her millions of dollars that got left to her has some random guy come in and shoot him instead of a big huge mob hit, with a machine gun and 15 guys and shoot up the whole place. No, some random dude who got paid probably $20,000 only, maybe even less. Walked up to this big powerful mob boss and fucking shot him in the face while he was trying to eat dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's poetic for Tony being, the guy he was.
It is poetic for the way that for the way the show plays out. It does make a lot of sense. I like it. I like it a lot. That would definitely be one of the ones though that I think that's the one that in my opinion causes the most back and forth on people.
I'll die by that. You won't be able to change my mind. Won't be able to change my mind because it just makes too much. Tony and Bobby talking about death. They said I don't think anything happened. His fades to black. Tony with the bell. Remember that when he was sitting on the dock and that bell kept going off. And
I do remember that.
The bell at the door. Every time every time the bell goes off, he looks at the bell.
Yeah.
Later on, he looks at the bell. Remember when one episode he wakes up, it looks like he's in a coffin. He's laying straight like this, and the camera zooms open, and he's laying like this on his back. Looks like I'm telling you, the whole season was telling you that he was going to fucking die at the end.
You bring up valid points. I'm not debating any of them.
Which is why I said I think it's a great ending. I know people are pissed about it, how they did it, but it just makes sense because you were looking through Tony's eyes.
Yeah.
The last thing he saw was Meadow coming into the fucking thing, and boom, dead.
Did you ever watch We Own the City?
No.
It's a Bernthal one. A buddy of mine keeps telling me I need to watch it. It's a mini series. It's only 6 episodes, but Bernthal's in it. Hour runtime each episode, so 6 hours of content. I gotta check it out. It's a HBO show. Is he a crooked cop? Is that what it is? He's a part of the Baltimore police force.
So they rob a bank or something? Why does that sound familiar?
It's about corruption in the Baltimore police force. It was based on a book, which was based on 8 officers who were convicted of various corruption charges in 2018 and 2019.
Can you really be crooked in Baltimore?
And it's told in a non-linear narrative. So, Memento.
So it's all over the place. It's fucking Quentin Tarantino show.
Yeah. I say Memento. Anytime I think of Christopher Nolan, I always think of my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, which is not a Batman movie. It is The Prestige. The Prestige. I love that movie. I think that movie is just phenomenal. I'll never forget the first time I watched it. Oh
I'm
man.
not a big Nolan guy.
I like Nolan's earlier work more than I like his later work. I haven't I could never get through Dunkirk. Um Tenant was interesting but so fucking confusing. Um Hold on, I'm trying to go to it. Memento's good, Insomnia's great. I love Batman Begins. The Prestige, as I said, was my favorite movie. I think The Inception's Interstellar, of course. Interstellar's really good too. I like Interstellar.
I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Oppenheimer, which I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't watched Oppenheimer.
Wow, even I've seen that.
I have not seen that yet. It's on Max. I'm gonna watch it eventually. It's just hard to set aside 3.5 fucking hours to watch it. That was like The Irishman. The Irishman was out forever before I finally got to sit down and watch it. It's just so 4 hour plus movie. It's like fuck, man.
I hated it. I never finished it. I thought it was boring as shit.
I wasn't thrilled about it. I mean, if you're telling me Scorsese's giving me a mob movie, he's got big shoes to fill by his own doing. So
That's what I mean. So you're telling me you got Scorsese, De Niro, Pesci, then you get thrown a bunch of awesome fucking side characters, and I was bored to death. I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah, you bring Pesci out of retirement, and this is what we get. What the fuck? Come on, man.
At least
You
Pesci
can't bring-
he did that the fucking what's that show? With what's his name? Pete Davidson did that show on cable.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Pesci played it was the grandfather. He was fucking great in that.
He was. I love Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci he's like one of my favorite actors. He's there's so many characters he's played that it's hard not to think about when you think about him. I always think about David what the fuck was the character's name from JFK, the JFK movie.
I know talking about.
It's David Ferry. He plays David Ferry in the JFK movie. I think he's really good in that role. He's good in everything. Come on, fucking Tommy from Goodfellas. Goodfellas to this day is still one of my like. I think you and I talked about this. I think the Copacabana scene is like one of like the greatest scenes in a movie like ever. Just that the one shot from the parking lot all the way in. I just think that's such a unbelievable scene. Like I get it. It's kind of like, they're just walking in, but just everything that goes on in that scene and the fact that it's all done in that one shot is just like, this is amazing. And the music playing
and the fact that he made it extra long, because if you pay attention when they walk in, they could have just walked right into the club, but no. Scorsese said, no, we're gonna do a lap around the fucking table, come back around, and then we're gonna go out into the club to play the song play to let you get a feeling of Henry. I was like, that's fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, dude, it's perfect. It's like I said, it's literally one of my favorite scenes in a movie. And that's always to me one of those movies that like if it's on TV and I'm flicking channels and it happens to pop on, I'm like, all right, gotta sit down and watch Goodfellas now.
I can't watch it on regular TV. I can't do it without the cursing. I need the cursing. It doesn't make any sense without the cursing.
The 600 F-bombs.
Yeah, I need them all. I can't take it when I hear something different. You want to know what's an underrated Pesci movie? The Super.
The Super.
Remember the Super?
Super. Who else is in that?
Oh, shit. It's a bunch of no-name people. He's like really the star of that movie. Remember he owns the slum?
Oh, yes. Oh my God. I haven't watched that movie since I was a fucking teenager.
Let me tell you, I was waiting for that movie. I'm like, why can't I buy this on Blu-ray? Why can't I find it anywhere? All of a sudden, it just fucking one day popped up on Peacock or Paramount. I was like, holy fuck. I put it right on. I was like, this is underrated comedy movie of fucking Joe Pesci. It's fantastic.
I haven't watched that. I want to say I was like 14 or 15 when I watched that last. It's been a long time.
Highly underrated.
I remember I was a teenager and this is when Netflix was like first coming out. And like one of the things I did was I got a Netflix membership and I burned through like AFI's top 100 list. And then I would just pick certain actors and just like start burning through their filmography of the movies I haven't seen before. Like I was a teenager, so I was really young. But that's how I got to. That's how I really filled my gap in on my Scorsese stuff. Because you got to remember, I'm only 35, so a lot of the Scorsese stuff, I was still a little kid when that stuff was relevant. So like Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, what's the one where he's a comedian? The fuck? What?
I know. I'm not thinking right with title. Mr. Saturday Night? No.
No, not Mr. Saturday Night. The fuck's the name of the movie?
Shit.
It's gonna bug me now. Hang on. I'm gonna pull it up.
I know. I'm not doing good with names either tonight.
But that was when I got to fill like my blanks in on everything that I hadn't seen before or that I hadn't really.
Well, that's what I did with Cagney. I watched all Cagney's movies.
King of Comedy.
Yeah, I Netflix because I get the disc and I got all the old gangster movies, and I burned through the Cagney and then.
He's done in terms of like gang movies. Or gangster movies, I guess. Gangs in New York is also. I know it's kind of a different type of gang movie, but I love Gangs in New York. That's my favorite Daniel Day-Lewis role ever. Bill the Butcher is, in my opinion, one of the greatest villains ever.
He is definitely.
Oh, dude, he's a fucking psychopath, and I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I missed it. Well, I don't miss it, but that on Netflix was crazy with the discs and everything.
Oh, dude, that like I said, that was when I saw the original. Have you ever seen Old Boy?
No.
So it's I think it's a Korean movie originally, and so it was on AFI's like top 100 list. So that's the only reason I ever watched it. I saw the original one, which is fucking subtitles. Which, by the way, that's the only thing I hated about doing the AFI top 100 list. There's like several movies on there that are subtitled ones. You got to watch, fucking read the whole time. I hate that shit because I can't. It's hard to focus on the subtitles and the movie at the same time. But Old Boy is a fucking wild movie. They remade it with, I think it was Will Smith, but the remake wasn't as good. The original is pretty crazy though. If you don't know the story and you've never seen it before, and you can get through a subtitle movie, I do recommend it at least to watch one time.
What year is it? You know?
Fuck. I want to say it was like early 90s or late 90s. 2003. I was way off. It is Korean. It is Korean. I was right. Korean. Old Boy is the name of the movie.
Oh, I see here.
Yeah. Like I said, they did remake it. 2013. It was not Will Smith. I'm sorry. It was fucking Josh Brolin. Way off. Josh Brolin is who they remade it with. I don't think it's as good. The original was incredible. It's really good. It is hard to get through though.
It says the violence is very disturbing and is often hard to watch.
Yes. Very accurate.
I'm in for that.
Very accurate.
I'm already in for that.
Yeah. Is that for the original or the remake?
The original, the Korean
one. I recommend checking it out. It is a very good movie. It is very disturbing and
That's
sick.
Fine. I like
but
that
it's good.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, Spike Lee is the one who actually remade it, which I thought was interesting.
And it's called Old Boy. Also,
it's called Old Boy. No, it's still called Old Boy. It's just with Josh Brolin, I think Elizabeth Olsen, and the dude from District 9. Is it District 9? Not District 9. What the fuck? What was the alien movie where they keep the aliens in like special districts in South Africa, and then they realize that
is it like
District 7,
37, 20? I don't know, something like that. Yeah, 7. I think District 7. I think.
No, it is District 9.
We're doing bad with titles today.
We're doing really well. It is it's 1:00. We're way into tomorrow now. Charlarto, I don't know how to say his name. Copley. He's the main actor from District 9.
I'll give it a shot when I can.
Yeah, but Old Boy, check it out. Like I said, you can watch both. You can watch the American one too. It's like I said, it's not bad. It's just not as good. But it's a fucked up movie. So enjoy. Enjoy.
All right, I'm going to bed.
All right.
before we get on to the next subject.
We literally just rambled for an hour and like 20 minutes about movies and TV shows and shit. So
Well, it's good. It's a precursor for the kitchen sink coming soon.
Oh yeah, we
That's all
didn't
the
even get into food.
That's what the kitchen sink's going to be. It's going to be exactly what we just did. Everything, random bullshit.
I'm in. I can do that.
That's what I said. How fun is that going to be? The stuff they can talk about trailers. You talk about movies. You talk about everything. You talk about fucking, the news, the fun part of the news. Is there anything called the fun part anymore?
I forgot what movie is that? We're all gonna die.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who stuck with us this long. If you did, God bless you. God bless you. We stopped
According
talking about wrestling a long time ago.
We stopped being a wrestling show a good hour ago.
I don't know when the next show is coming. Hopefully soon. Hopefully Eric will get back here soon. I do have a quick announcement. No one's going to see it this late. I'll have to put a post on the webpage though. Eric and I'm going up to my former hometown where he still is next weekend for my 30th high school reunion. Yes, I am that old. And me and Eric will be in the parade for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we're gonna turn the parade into a Just Too Sweet parade. So it's gonna be like the parade's for me and Eric, and we're gonna shoot it that way. We're gonna have someone shoot it for us, like it's for us. So it should be pretty interesting. Plus, we're gonna get a lot of cool footage for the new opening of Just Too Sweet when we finally film it. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna bring my belts up. We're gonna bring our T-shirts, and we hop in that float. We're gonna do our waving thing. I might even get one of my cousins to hold the sign up, the Just Too Sweet sign, like wave at us and shit. We'll film that, and it'll be pretty interesting. So when that happens, we will definitely post it. It'll be hilarious, hopefully, and hopefully Dave will wake up one of these days, take an allergy pill, and stop talking about AEW and join us also. And I don't know, what are we doing on Sportsmanlike next? We missed 2 weeks.
I don't know, man. I'm on call next week too, so next week's not going to be good for me. Because like I could do the show. I could be home and tell you I'm going to do the show, and then we could be in the middle of the show and I could get called out. So,
well, you know what? There's not that much to talk about.
it is the off season.
We only got one sport going on, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's baseball and it's July, so we're not there yet.
Yeah, exactly. But if football news will be starting up again, thank God. But I do have a bunch of things. I have a bunch of things I do want to bring up. I've been saving all this shit on my phone to bring up for the show, so I'll save it for that. Hopefully next week. And you got any final remarks before we get out of here at 1:05 a.m.?
Watch the Bear. Watch wrestling. And Dave openly admitted that AEW is not competition to WWE today.
Ooh. Anthony has the screenshots to prove it.
I do.
Cool. And my final words are just simply this.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry.
It's so good.
One more.
I believe in Joe Hendry.